Hello, everyone. How are you guys today? As you guys can see, the topic today will be Bella Bond. This is not a new case, but it's a case that I've been following, and it's kind of got me a little ticked off. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but if you haven't, you'll hear about it today. Let me start off by saying hi to everybody. So we have Southern Sass in the building. You New is here. Shay Works by Faith. Hello. Just a couple of people have stepped in the building so far. So, has anyone heard about the Bella Bond case? If you have, give me some ones in the chat. And if so, what's your feeling so far about how everything has played out? And if you don't know about it, we will talk about it here really soon. So I'm going to pull up a few things on my computer. And I guess I'm going to start off by Shay says she has not heard about the Bella Bond case. So I will be telling you guys the story for the ones that have not heard about it. So Bella Bond was Unu says, I only heard of it from your video. Okay, this was in 2015 when she was found. A lady was walking her dog on the shore, and she came across a bag with what looked like a small body inside. So she contacted the police, and for sure it was a baby inside of the bag washed up on the shore. And this is in Boston, Massachusetts. So they did not know who this baby was. They could not identify her. Hi, Martha. How are you? You have not heard of it either? Oh. Well, I'm here to let you guys know about it. So she's walking her dog, and she comes across this bag with the little baby inside. They couldn't identify her. There had been no missing children open cases at all. So they had a composite sketch put together of what they thought little Bella would look like. And I mean, this goes on for months and months, and no one comes forward. And to give you a little bit about her, I have some things written down here. I can't find my little purple book, guys. For those of you guys who knows about my purple book. Okay, yeah, so little Bella was born August 6th of 2012. Her parents were Rochelle Bond and Joe Amoroso. I hear conflicting stories on how they met and how they ended up, leaving one another. One of the stories were that they were both homeless together when she conceived Bella. Her full name is Bella Nevaeh Bond. And so Joe never got a chance to meet his daughter. And he was supposed to be meeting her very soon to when this all happened. And when he found out that this little girl that has been all over the news, I mean, they did, I believe, 3 composite sketches, because the first one, they said, it could probably look too young and no one would know who it was. So they made it a little bit older. And let me see if I can pull up the composite sketch. And so you guys can see what she looked like. And if you guys put a 1 in the chat if you guys have seen my video previous to this where it has all the news clips and you were able to see what little Bella looks like. Because I believe there was one picture on there where it shows the composite sketch and then it doesn't show the rest, but I'm going to see if I can pull it up right now. Really quickly. I could do it on my computer, but it has everything set up on it and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so I got some ones. You guys have seen it. So there was a guy that was a neighbor of little Bella. And he said, like, you know, he's been looking at this picture on the news and he's like, this looks like this can be my neighbor. It looks like this can be my neighbor. So when he sees them, he asks, is like, hey, where's Bella? And at this point, little Bella is living with her mother, Rochelle, and her mother's boyfriend, Michael. His name is Michael McCarthy. And they both tell the neighbor and some of the close friends that were asking about Bella that she was taken by CPS and she was put into a home. So allegedly they're telling everyone that, knowing the whole time that they're seeing this picture on the news of them trying to find this little girl and they say nothing. The only thing that they can see that could identify the baby was she had on white pants with black polka dots. So one of the tips that the police received was someone witnessing a woman dumping a black trash bag into the water. And so they put this information out and they find this woman. And, you know, she goes to say, oh no, I was, you know, dumping out some trash, or, you know, they find her and I guess they found some of the items that she claimed that she threw out. So they completely ruled her out. She had nothing to do with it. Let me see. This picture is coming up. Let me see. Let me press images. By the way, this is my son's phone and it's kind of cracked up, but I will show you. Okay, so this is what Bella Bond looks like. Let me know if you guys can see that. And to me, the sketch looks like it could be Bella, so I don't know why it was so hard for people to figure this out. But that, And by the way, if you guys, once again, there's always something going on in my background. Once it was the roof next door, then it was the grass, and now today, anytime I go live, something happens. They're building a house up the way from where I live, and one of the pipes busted, and it was the sewer line. So it's all over my backyard, and so I have about 5 workers in the backyard trying to clean that up. So if you hear them and all the beeping, that's what that is. Hey, Miss Dee Dee, how are you? Thanks for joining us. And hello, Miss Diane. How are you doing today? Hopefully well, because I got this little situation going on in my backyard right now. But yeah, so this is the composite sketch. Do you guys feel like that is a little bit similar? I do. I do. What do you guys think? Does it look similar? If it looks similar, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that's probably why they did not get it, put a 2 in the chat. I could be wrong. So also, for the ones that have not seen the video, here's a picture of, I want to make it big for you guys. Let's see. So this is a picture of Michael McCarthy right here. Uh-oh. Doing too much tapping, guys. So that's Michael McCarthy, baby Bella, and that's baby Bella's mom. So I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory on both of the parents and the boyfriend. So let's start off with none other than Rochelle Bond. Okay, so you guys do say that the sketch looks like her. Okay, so Rochelle Bond, and this is at that time. This is in 2015. She was 49 years old, and at the time that she was implicated in the death of her child, because that neighbor, I believe he told his sister, like, hey, I think this is this baby. I think this is this baby. And then, put two and two together. And the sister's like, I think that's her. I'm calling the police. And so she calls the police. They go to Rochelle's and Michael's apartment and asks, where's Bella? Eventually, after being questioned, they come out and say what happens. And we'll get to that. We'll get to what they say happened. And this is why I'm bringing this story, because I feel like there's more to it, and justice has not fully been served. But that's me and how I feel. And after I explain, we will see how you guys feel. So, while, she was being implicated in, this crime of her daughter being found washed up on the shore, she admits, while being on probation, that she was violating her probation the entire time, because she was ordered not to use any drugs at all. They found that she was using, and she was also using a drug called Suboxone. And I don't know if that would be considered a good or a bad thing. I know that that is something that has to be prescribed. And one of the drugs that they were allegedly using were opiates, heroin. And through what I've researched, Suboxone is some type of drug that they said is some type of strip that you can put in your mouth, and it, I guess, replaces the heroin needs. They said it can also be used for people that has an addiction to opiates in the form of pain medications and things like that, that they use that to get them off of that, or a way of tapering them off of the opiates. I guess they use it in recovering centers, rehabilitation centers. And so she was caught positive for using that as well. And this was she got tested by the Worcester Superior Court. I believe I'm saying that wrong, when I'm more than sure I am. And that was not too far away from when baby Bella was found. So I don't believe I told you guys yet, but they don't know when she was killed, because there are conflicting stories between the boyfriend and the mother. So they estimate her to have passed either in the month of May or June, because she washed up on the shore on June 25th of 2015. So they get them together and they're telling their story. Yunu says, why do people have kids if they're going to kill them? This I don't understand. And this is what Rochelle says happened. She says that, this is what she allegedly says, that she told her boyfriend Michael to go put, her to sleep or put her back to sleep. And when she opened the door, Michael was punching the little girl. Some sources say in her head, and some sources says in her stomach. So that's a little bit unclear to me. Let me take off one of these banners. And so it just didn't sound right the way that she was saying it. And on top of that, for her telling this story, for them using her as a witness, she was offered a plea bargain. Guys, hear me now. She was offered a plea bargain to get up there and tell her story of what happened to baby Bella. So they asked her, okay, well, if this happened, why not get her medical attention? She says because she was afraid. Okay, so she sees him punching and beating her daughter to death, supposedly, and she's afraid, and so she assists in covering up this death. She wraps her up in black garbage bags. They take her to the water and dump her over. Then sees her all over the news for months, knowing that her daughter went missing with those white polka dot pants on, and that's all over the news, with the sketch. So guys, do you feel that she should do time? Do you feel that her story is true? I mean, let me show you. I mean, the drugs are getting to these people to where it's like, if you have an addiction prior to becoming pregnant, get help right then and there. And if you are using drugs, you can use protection, because there's no reason why a child should be born to a mother, to a father, and they have habits to where they cannot provide proper care for these children. Hi, Sugar Mama. How are you? Thanks for coming on in. Hi, Christine. Hello, hello. Welcome. So today, guys, we're talking about the Bella Bond case. Hopefully, you guys seen the video before this one. If not, I will also be playing some of the news clips from it, and I'll be reading some of it as well. I just want to get your guys' take on this, because I know it has been bothering me that I just don't feel like justice has fully been served. And I'm going to let Michael speak. I'm going to find it. I'm going to let Michael speak and say, what he says happens. So here's a picture. This is in the New York Post, okay, guys? So look at this picture. This is supposed to be Rochelle. Right. I don't know if they're insinuating that this is her after. Oh, sorry. This is Rochelle. and then Michael. I said that completely wrong because I thought I put the picture up with her before and after of going into jail and then while she was in jail. So, Sugar Mama says, females who is not stable should definitely have a BTI. Let me know that abbreviation. I'm bad with abbreviations, guy. I'm probably thinking like some type of birth control or something. I don't know. To me, if someone has a strong addiction and they are still able to conceive, and it's something that can either possibly affect the birth of a child, the life of a child, the overall pregnancy, they should really have to, I believe doctors should really push that they either get an IUD or an implant, some type of birth control to where it's not going to put anyone in harm's way but the person that chooses to do what they want to do. Because it's not fair to have kids born with these defects because of a mother's choices. Let me go to some of the comments. They're going up too fast over here. So I'm going to go on over here. Let's see. I think they pop up over here a little bit slower than on the phone. Yunu says, jail time for the mom. She's guilty as well. I feel that way highly because if you claim this man beat your daughter to death and you were so afraid, there is some point where you can get help. There is some point, I mean, he's not up with you all day, all night. And if he is, there is some period to where you have stepped out of the house within those months that you could have said something, wrote a note, slipped it somewhere. You know, that's my daughter. Help me, something. But instead you go and you help wrap her little body and throw her into the water. No. Martha says, this child was being abused before she was born. Exactly. That should already be considered child abuse. Using while having a baby in the womb should be considered child abuse, child neglect, whatever the case may be. Let's see. Bilateral tubal. Oh, Sugar Mama, you're saying that she tubes tied? Is that what that means? I think so too. I think so. That should happen. Especially if it's like chronic ongoing use and people that continue to bring more babies and more babies and more babies and more babies. And it's becoming a pattern. There should be some type of, and I know women's rights. Yes, I hear it all the way. Women should be able to make their choice. But what about if they're making choices under the influence and are just harming these kids and continue to do it over and over again? There has to be some way that we get, a grasp on these things. It's, to me, it's not right. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm caught up on those. So that's about her. I mean, guys. And also, so what she was able to be charged with was larceny. She was charged with larceny, guys, of up to $250, because guess what Miss Rochelle Bond decided to do after knowingly tossing her baby into the water, seeing her all over the news. She continues to collect the baby's benefits. She continues to cash in on Bella's benefits. Guys, another babies for benefit situation. So, with her testimony and her plea deal and continuing to collect Bella's benefits, she gets time served. She's done. Okay? Now Michael is in jail doing life. Life, guys. And the only two people that were there when this supposedly happened were those two. So to me, that's just one word against the other. But since she spoke up first, she gets the plea deal. She gets out scot-free, and he has to go on ahead and do life. No real punishment for her. Does anybody find this situation fair? Or am I just the only one feeling that justice has not been fully served in this situation? Yunu says, definitely. Martha says, you are right, sugar mama. Tubal, can I say this right? I don't know if I can say it right. Ligation. I think that's how you say it. Ligation. If I said it wrong, I apologize. Martha says, it's always about the money, never about the children. Always. Always about these benefits. Always about the food stamps, EBT. Always about the cash aid. I hear about women just having child after child after child. And what do they say their income is? I've heard women literally say, I have kids just to get a check. How can that be a job? And I mean, that's just barely being able to get by. How is that fair to the kids? Because you don't want to get up and go to work. You rather lay down, get pregnant, have these kids, get a check, do it all over again. Everyone is going to pay for your child. Everyone else is going to pay for your kid. I mean, I'm not saying I don't agree with the system and helping out women and, things like that. I'm not saying that. But for the ones that are purposely doing it just to get benefits from their state, from our government, shouldn't be allowed to happen. Should not be allowed to happen. If you guys feel that women should be able to just have child after child after child, and they're seeing it's a pattern, the system sees this pattern. Do you feel like they should continue to provide for the child, the mother in the situation? Or do you think they should place these children with responsible families, responsible households that can take care of these kids and stop using the government? What do you guys think on that situation? I'm going to go to some of the comments in the meantime. So let's see. Yunu says she's going to HELL in a basket. I just don't understand how it's just, she's done. I don't get it. Martha says, okay, I said that one. It's always about the money, never about the children. Hey, Christine. She says they should have both gotten life. I want to know the full story because something is telling me that I don't believe it happened the way they're saying. But some of Michael's closest friends says he has this crazy belief about like demons and things like that. And so what Rochelle says about him is the reason that he was hitting the little girl was that she had become a demon and it was her time to go, is what she said. And then when they interviewed his friends, like I said, they said, yes, he has this crazy belief about demons and hell and Satan and how all these things are going on. And so that's one of the reasons I believe that they kind of swayed more with her story. But if you just look at, and I'm not just saying appearance is everything, but sometimes I feel like you can kind of get the feel from someone off of their appearance. And she looks like she uses something. So, I mean, that's in my opinion. Shay Works by Faith says justice is not fully served. I don't believe so. Even if he did do that, I don't feel she should get off scot-free, and that's just me. Miss Didi says, but when it happened, she claimed to have been under the influence or on heroin or meth. Really? Yeah, they claim to have been under some type of drug. I believe it was heroin. And to me, okay, if it was heroin, that's a downer. And if, the child was supposed to be being put to sleep, maybe she could have been interrupting their high. And that's probably why he felt she was a demon. I don't know. I don't even know if the story is true. She could have known that he has issues with that and threw that into the story to make it more be true. Like I said, I feel with every lie, there's almost always some type of truth to it. So another comment, Martha says she deserves punishment. Yes, I feel that way as well. Christine says, if you can't feed them, don't breed them. Hello? Yes. Don't. Stop. Miss Didi says she should have paid the state back all that money she collected when their baby first died up until the time they got caught. Yeah. And she should have had to do the time on top of that. Pay that debt off with that jail time as well. Because that's a life gone. For what reason? What did this little girl do to deserve that? The ultimate punishment. What did she do? Nothing she could have done could have been that bad. This is just similar to Amari. They're in there doing their drugs. And a baby has to pay for it. Why? Why? They're in there high as a kite. Want the baby to sit down. Want the baby to... 2 years old. Both babies. 2 years old. Gone. Erased off this earth because adults want to feed their desire to be high. It's not right. It's just not right. Shay works by Faith says, yes, a little louder for the people in the back. Yes, she was saying that to Christine's comment about if you can't feed them, don't breed them. Yunu says, the mom is the one that looks like a demon. Have you guys seen the picture of the mom? I showed her earlier. I will show her again. I will actually show them both. But we also need to talk about the biological father. So the picture of Miss Rochelle is right here. Oh, my light. I don't know. Can you guys see that? I don't know. My light is kind of making a glare. If you guys can see that, toss a one in the chat. So that's the mother. And then we will go ahead and show Mike. This is, well, I'll show them both right here. So this is Mike and Rochelle. So that's Mike and Rochelle, guys. I'm going to read some of the comments, and then I'm going to tell you guys about baby Bella's biological father. Birds like a feather flock together. So let's see. Hi, John Q. How are you? He says, good evening. See, you're working these tragic cases like wildfire on your channel. You're doing a great job. I mean, they're back to back to back to back to back. And this one happened in 2015, which to me should have gotten a little bit more coverage. And maybe this wouldn't have turned out the way it turned out. I mean, I'm not saying she's lying and she wasn't scared, but there was months. I mean, months. Even we're gonna get to her burial, but there was months for her to say something to someone. She at the time was 49 years old, and Michael at the time was 35 years old. From the sources that I looked at, she was 49. He was 35. Yeah. Once again, hello, John Q. I hear these cases and I follow them. Some I don't talk about on here. I just follow a lot of cases. But when I just see things that aren't fair, I kind of just want to speak up about it. Let's see. Miss Didi says, if she was so high, how does she know what happened? Word for word, line for line, everything. I don't believe her. She did something along with him. If not, she did it all, and she's blaming it on him. That is a high possibility. I mean, and it's easy to just pull the, I was scared. But I mean months, guys. Because even when it came to her burial, it was said that even after she was found and identified, it still took another 5 months for her burial. And what just makes it so sad is her father was just about to get to meet her. And like I said, it was said that they were homeless at the time. She ended up becoming pregnant. They separated. He went on to get, his life a little, more together and on the right track. They got in contact with each other and he was about to see his daughter. But that day never came, guys. It never came. Joe never got to meet his daughter in person, alive, in the flesh. He did not. And to me, no matter what drugs you're using, no matter what you're going through, your living situation, never being able to meet your child, and just to know it was right there, but instead you get the news that the baby they found washed ashore was your little girl. That is sad. So I'm gonna let you guys know a little bit about Joe. The reason why I said birds like a feather flock together, because they both, Rochelle and him, got in trouble for something, and both of the numbers ended up being $250. So, guys, we have another Home Depot. Now, if you guys remember the story where the guy clipped off his ankle monitor and left it in a Home Depot, and that's where they found him because he had murdered his his son's mother while she was holding him, shot her in the face, and also shot his son in the leg. The baby survived, but they found the monitor in the Home Depot. So we have Home Depot again in this story. But Joe Amoroso, when he was found, he was found with about $250 worth of, and this is allegedly, but he got charged with it, worth of stolen items from the Home Depot. He was caught leaving an Allstate Road store. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like a Allstate insurance store. I don't know, but I never heard of an Allstate Road store, but that's what it said. Yeah, coming out, he was apprehended by the police for larceny over $250. And what he tells the police is, I mean, it's not funny, but it's like, this is what you thought to say. He says, quote, now you can tell everyone that you locked up Bella Bond's dad. I don't know why he would want it to like have that be the thing he's known for. I don't know if he was just trying to put that out there, but he tells the cops that, and they're kind of just like, all right. So anyway, they did a small funeral, and it was so adorable. It was Hello Kitty, and I don't know if for the ones that have seen my video of all the news clips, you'll see that she has like Hello Kitty stuff in the back. So they had a Hello Kitty like quilt over her casket, and a lot of people came and they signed it. It was really cute, but it was sad at the same time. I am going to go into the comments, and then I'm gonna see if I can play what Michael, the accused murderer of Bella Bond, had to say when they went and questioned him about this situation. So let's see. Miss Didi says, I want to make sure I'm not reading the same one. Okay, yeah, I read that one already. So Yunu says, then they shouldn't have had kids. Sugar Mama says, in Cali, no matter how many kids mom has, no more increase on welfare. Whoa, is that new? Is that what they're doing that's new? Because I am from California, and I know a few people that has continued to have kids just to get, an extra, I don't know what it is, like 200 or 400, I don't know, a month. And then as soon as that baby is out of diapers and things like that, because I believe the child has to be a certain age to where they give you more just because of like diapers and milk. There's a program, the WIC program, and that helps out with, I believe, like diapers, like healthy stuff for the kids, fruits, vegetables, um, rice, and healthy stuff for kids, and they get that alongside with their EBT, food stamps, and their cachet. So they get all of that when the child is younger. So they continue to want to always have children below the age of, I believe it's 5, or is it 3? I think it's below the age of 5, because that's when that, extra income on top of their income drops off. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to live barely getting by my whole life. It's not fair to kids. Like, they didn't choose it. Let's see. Martha says, "That's right, Miss Dee Dee. If she can recall being high, then she would remember what she did." Word. Yunu says, "Pulling the BS card." And I always forget this, and she always reminds me, guys, if you haven't done it yet, do me a real big favor. Hit that thumbs up. You won't miss anything, I promise. Just go and click that little X on the corner. Go click the thumbs up and click right back in. I'll still be here. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I am going to be doing a giveaway sometime in October, but there are going to be some rules to that. And one of them is to subscribe. And if you subscribe, can you please at least let 2 other people know in your family to go and subscribe? And I will know if you have subscribed, because it gives me what is it called? Notifications in my email. So go ahead, subscribe, guys. Why not? And another thing that's going to be a part of the giveaway, I'm trying to decide. I don't want to make it like a I don't know. Right now, I'm thinking maybe like an art contest, like any type of like recreation of like my, my signature. I don't forget how I did it. Like and you know how I say, make it make sense. Like, I want this to make sense. Anyway, you send it to me. I'll have like the PO box. I'll have 3 people that I pick, and I'll show them on here, and I'll put their information, and then we will choose from there. I'm thinking about it. Don't hold me to it yet, because I'm thinking about what I want the giveaway to be. And maybe $100 gas card, $100 gift card, somewhere to go eat, depending on what month I do it in. If I do it in November, it'll probably be food, $100 to go eat somewhere with your family. I don't know yet, but we'll get to that when I put it more together. Let's see. So yeah, like and subscribe. Back to the comments. Sugar Mama says, "No, they send them to gain. Wait, they send them to gain that school to get." Oh, she says, "No, they send them to get a high school diploma and then get a job." I believe that's what I'm reading here. So I guess in California, I'm from California, but I don't know all the rules to it. I'm guessing that they cap them off at a certain amount. And you can let me know if I'm saying this wrong, Sugar Mama. Cap them off at a certain amount, send them through, help them get their high school diploma or maybe GED, and then also help them to get a job. That's what I'm thinking. Shay Works by Faith. Do I have the IG? I have a personal IG. I'm making one specifically for this channel. I'll be doing that by the end of today. So there'll only be a couple pictures on there. But I will, when I do put it together, I will put it in. Let me write that down so I don't forget. I will put that in the description box. my new IG. So I will be putting that in the description box. My email is the naomiChinaD@gmail.com. For those of you guys that didn't know, maybe you guys can send me, or down in the comments, send me ideas of what the giveaway should be, what the contest should be about. Give me some ideas. Right now I'm thinking the artsy line of it. I may even, because I kind of, when I set up my studio, I want to have like, you know, art and stuff, or like cards from you guys, like whatever. I just want to show you guys also, because we're all here as a family. I mean, to sit here and talk about things, bring awareness to situations. So I don't know, I'm thinking. But yeah, I don't know where I was. I'm rambling. My son's out there swinging his legs. I don't know if he's trying to get my attention. But I wanted you guys to hear what Michael says when he gets his interview. Let me see if I can go to it from here. I believe this is it. Because he's saying he's innocent. And I don't know how innocent he is, but guys, the story just sounds too fishy. I honestly don't feel like there was enough investigation put into it. Because if, I don't know, for those of you that have heard the story about Darian and Baby Cash, if they can even consider to put this child to death off a grainy video and, you know, small little things in his past and things like that, and just for sure they know it was him, only him, no one else had anything to do with it. Why is that able to be just done like that? And he can possibly have to live his whole life in jail. And this woman had something to do with it. She's saying she helped wrap the baby and put the baby in the water, and she just gets time served. This is crazy. It makes no sense. I'm trying to get this to play here. I'm probably gonna have to put it on a different tab for you guys. The weather has been hot, and then we have a little bit of rain, and then hot, and I don't know. My mouth is pretty dry though from it. Let me see. Michael. Let's see if they're going to play it. Okay. So this is CBS Boston. And I'm going to play it for you guys. Please let me know if you guys can hear it once I start it, so that I know. Let me make sure. Okay. Once again, guys, we're working on a way that I don't have to hold this up for you guys. Yunu says, I think he had something to do with it. All right. Let me play this for you guys. I need to put the sound on there. Okay. Tell me, let me make it large for you guys. Just tell me what you guys think about Mr. Michael.
He was convicted of one of the most horrific crimes in Massachusetts history. Michael McCarthy is serving a life sentence for killing 2-year-old Bella Bond.
But tonight, as he prepares for an appeal hearing next week, the convicted murderer says he's innocent, and he's telling his story to WBZ Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca.
Did you kill Bella?
Never. I never harmed a hair on her head. You know, she was a beautiful, happy, healthy little girl.
Michael McCarthy is 5 years into a life sentence. He was convicted of killing Bella Bond, his then-girlfriend's daughter.
It wasn't a murder because there was no evidence that it was a murder.
The toddler's body, at the time unidentified, washed up in a trash bag on Winthrop's Deer Island in June of 2015. Officials called her Baby Doe.
Who she is remains a mystery to us.
Hoping to identify her, prosecutors released this composite sketch and said the body had no obvious signs of trauma, and investigators were looking into the possibility of a poisoning.
If there was an accident or worse, if there was mischief that resulted in a criminal act, clear your conscience.
Months later, a tip led police to 2-year-old Bella's mother, Rochelle Bond, and McCarthy. Both admitted substance abusers were charged with her murder. Prosecutors focusing in on McCarthy's interest in the occult.
They were saying that, I essentially believed that Bella Bond was inhabited by demons.
Did you think Bella was a demon?
Of course not. She was a beautiful little girl.
Guilty of murder in the 2nd degree.
They needed to put this on somebody.
With no other witnesses, prosecutors offered Bond a plea deal. In exchange for less than 3 years in prison and probation, she would testify against McCarthy.
He punched her in the stomach.
Where was she?
Laying on the bed.
Her front, her side, or back?
She was on her bed. It was her time to die. She was a demon.
But the medical examiner said this about Bond's story of how Bella died.
And I don't want to say that it's impossible for it to happen. It's just I think it's unlikely.
As for the cause of death, the ME was unable to come up with a conclusion, saying she could have died from strangulation or a blow that led to a heart attack. Did you do it?
No.
Bond also told police Bella's body was in the refrigerator and that she and McCarthy later dumped her in Boston Harbor.
The state police swept the refrigerator and they said there was never a body in the refrigerator. And they swept my car and they said there was never a body in his vehicle either.
As for how her body ended up in the water, did you have anything to do with that?
My attorney doesn't think it would be a good idea to get into anything specific like that.
Bella! McCarthy claims Bella may have died accidentally, taking her mother's prescription medication.
The pills are pink, in color, and Bella had a pink fluid in her stomach.
In the end, McCarthy was found guilty of 2nd-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison.
Bella didn't get justice first off because they never even determined what happened to her, and I definitely didn't kill her. So she didn't receive justice. Rochelle Bond clearly didn't receive justice because she committed perjury, and she's out walking around, and I'm in prison for a murder I didn't commit, for a murder that didn't even happen.
The hearing on McCarthy's appeal will be held here next week. We did attempt to reach Rochelle Bond, but did not hear back. We did, though, hear from the Suffolk County DA, who says the conviction should stand and the sentence is appropriate for the harm inflicted on a beautiful, helpless child. Cheryl Fiandaca, WBZ News.
Have you seen something the I-Team should be looking into?
Guys, does anyone want to come on panel? Did you guys hear that? What do you guys think after you hear what Michael has to say? I'm also going to let you hear something that Rochelle says as well. And then you guys tell me what you guys think. Down in the chat, after you hear both sides and hear what I, have said, don't let me form your opinion. Just what you guys have seen, heard, read, what you guys feel the punishment should have been or should be, or if it's correct. Who do you feel was involved? Do you feel like, justice has fully been served? Just whatever you think. Put it down in the chat and let's have a discussion. But does anyone want to hop on? I am going to see if I can give you guys the code. And press the wrong one. Post. If you want to hop on and let's discuss this, let's talk about it for a little bit and tell me your guys' thoughts. Anyone, I'm okay with you hopping on here. Don't be afraid. later on this week, I'm going to figure out a way for you guys to call in. Well, I kind of know now, but I want to get the setup to where you guys can hear clearly, and you'll be able to also call in. But if anybody right now wants to go ahead and come up on panel, let's talk about this situation. And I want to say hi to Etta B. Hello, my love. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing? I don't know where you are, but maybe, nighttime over here. It's only 3:00. So, how are you? Shay Works by Faith says, I'll be right back. Groceries being delivered. Get your groceries, girl. Let's see who we have. You knew it's hopping on.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello. Hi, you knew.
Thinking about getting on here. But did you see the mom smiling and smirking on her mugshot? That was her mugshot, right?
Right.
That looked like the devil himself with that smile on her face.
Right. I was just like, the whole situation sounds sketch. It doesn't seem fair at all. Let me see if I can find her version of what happened.
Excuse my hair, it's a hot mess.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We're a family. We're all family. Just someone else want to join.
I'm literally not ready for this.
I said I'm really not ready for this. Let me see. I wrote down. There was a part where she was like doing her whole theatrics, and I want to share that with you guys. And I'm not saying that this didn't happen and she wasn't afraid. I just, like I said, I feel that there was more she could have done. Yeah. Now they do have the full trial. We won't do that because it's over like 4 hours, so we would be here forever. Etta B says, I'm great. I'm still at work at 7. It's 5 here. Okay. So she can't go live. That's perfectly fine. We can have our conversation just like this. Let me click back on our screen. That way I can see all of the comments. Let's see. Oh, you had rain all this week, you knew?
We've been getting rain on and off, but mostly on. But I'm hoping the rest of this week it's done.
Okay.
We just had some drizzle yesterday. I was like, no more rain. Are we good? But the thing about it is, it's not like cool weather. It's hot weather with rain.
Here, it's hot, and it's like we keep getting little showers. It's weird because we normally don't have that. It's either like rainy. It's never really freezing cold here. We get times where it's cold, but no one would consider it freezing. We just say it's freezing because it's
I feel they should be giving us a gas break right now, girl, because we got to use that air conditioner all the time.
Oh, really?
It is too hot. Yeah, it's sticking
hot. Yeah, Louisiana. Yeah, that weather.
Too hot.
Yeah. Let's see. Etta B says she said she can't get on panel. Okay, that's fine. I will be I actually have the phone number now to my other phone, and I was just gonna hook it up so that way everybody can hear it. If anybody wanted to call in, I can toss that up there. Just let me know. Call in. But other than that, let's hear where to go.
You want to got a whole nother number or what? Because I'm gonna need to do that for my business.
Well, I already have an extra number, so I'm just like, what number could be the number?
Have to call my company, right, and tell them I need another number. I have to call my company and tell them to give me another number because I don't want everybody to have my number.
Yeah, or you can either use your phone as well and just get a Google number. Have them call the Google number.
How do you do that?
Well, you know how you get a Google phone number. You apply.
Not the Zoom?
No, it's not Zoom. It's like you get an extra number through your phone. Like you can do, I think it's called Text Now or Talk Now, an app, and it's actually your phone number.
Okay.
But like if you're not in the app or whatever, they can't call you. When you go into the app, when they call that number, it goes to your phone.
Oh, okay.
So I used to have that.
I'm not as tech as I thought. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I used to have that, but I'm like, well, I have a second phone. I can just put it onto my my Bluetooth speaker, and everyone can hear the conversation.
Yeah.
And that way I'll be able to screen the phone call before, people just do crazy things on here.
I feel you.
So here is something of Miss Mother of Bella Bonds. I will play for you guys so you guys can hear that. And then you guys can tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think? Wait, let me take the closed caption off. Okay. So.
By the way, I just want to tell you, you look gorgeous today, as usual.
Thanks, Gabe. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna put on. I was like, I'm just gonna toss on this black dress. Oh, I'll take this boom. Toss some lipstick on, some lashes. Yeah. Let's see.
Did she look to you when you went over to her to do CPR?
Let's see.
Her head was
Oh, wait. Make it larger. Hold on.
Gut-wrenching testimony. Bella Bond's mother giving gruesome details.
Sorry,
When
guys.
you went over to her to do CPR?
it was swollen and gray.
Gut-wrenching testimony. Bella Bond's mother giving gruesome details about her daughter's murder. A murder that Rochelle Bond was a part of. But today, her testimony was about building a case against her ex-boyfriend, who she says hit her daughter so hard she fell off a bed. Bond testified her boyfriend claimed that the toddler was a demon and needed to die. Louisa Moeller's live outside of Suffolk Superior Court tonight with more. Louisa?
Well, David, prosecutors asked Rochelle Bond if she thought of picking up her daughter's lifeless body and just running. She said Michael McCarthy, was right there and she was scared.
I just saw her bounce off the bed.
In and out of tears, Bella Bond's mother told the story that ended with her baby's death, starting with her birth.
She was awesome.
Then meeting McCarthy, his move in with her, the time she claims he disciplined the 2-year-old by locking her in the closet. Finally, the day she says she saw McCarthy murder Bella.
He punched her in the stomach.
Where was she?
Laying in the bed. I grabbed her. And she wasn't breathing. So I tried to do CPR.
McCarthy shook his head from side to side as Rochelle testified that he threatened to kill her and injected her neck with heroin.
I said no, it was her time to die. She was a demon.
Bond says what happened next was a haze. McCarthy, she alleges, drove her to Boston's Seaport, Bella's body in a bag in the back seat.
I saw my cream in the bag. And I could see her thigh. Like, maybe for her there. And I screamed something, I don't even know what it was, and then he hit me.
The toddler's body will be discovered on Deer Island, noted for months after, only as Baby Doe. Now, Rochelle Bond is currently serving time in prison. She pleaded guilty to accessory after murder and to an accepting welfare checks after the baby's death. In exchange for her testimony, she will be released after this trial. In Boston, Louisa Moeller, WBZ News.
We have some break.
So guys,
Talk about your...
that's why I say, I'm not saying that I feel that he did nothing, okay? But I don't feel like they both have served, justice, because you hear her say, and this is all allegedly, we don't know if it's true or not, He locked her in a closet. Seems like she has been abused for the time she's known this man. So she has allowed this to happen, from her words, this to happen time and time again. So why should she just be let scot-free? Because before it got to this point, if he's disciplining her and he's putting his hands on you, you're putting your daughter in this situation.
Exactly.
She could have protected her.
Exactly.
You're wrong.
I'm waiting for the tears. The ones that don't
You
look like
see,
rubbing her eyes. She looked like she's been doing this for a long time. Nothing, not one little drop of water coming out of her. Nothing, no tears at all.
Not one. You seen what I put in the other video? I'm like, where are the tears?
Yeah.
But where are the tears? Because
there is
not one tear.
And then the news lady talking about she's all dried out. No, she's not. She's not crying. She's just been rubbing her eyes to where they got red and puffy. I can make my eyes red and puffy by just rubbing the heck out of them and not be crying. Come on now.
Right. Hold on. Hold on a second. That's what my son wants.
You guys, another Malia Davis situation. Another Cash Gurnan situation. Just saying. Oh, wait. And what about Amari's situation? Nobody's crying. Like, they're all, faking. Rubbing their eyes so they can look like they've been crying, but no tears coming out at all. Samuel Olsen situation. Where are the tears, everybody? I don't understand why they even if they're faking it, they could at least try to squeeze one tear out their eyes.
Right. I'm gonna go to
we'll get some dry eyes, whatever, just something, bring them down. I mean, make it look like you care.
It's sad though. It's sad. It's always a boyfriend. It's why aren't these women vetting these men? Exactly. I do not let my son go with no man. No man. He rarely can even meet the guys that I meet. Unless it's like someone I know for years, like one of my old friends or something.
Yeah.
He may get to be around, someone like that. But if I'm just meeting you, you can't even meet my son. You can't even meet him. Because there's no point in you meeting him if you're not going to actually be in my life. I don't see the need for him to meet all these different men.
Right.
I don't. So, Christine says, oh, it's 11 p.m. where she is.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Good night. Where are you at?
Good night.
I don't know if she's going. Yeah, she says good night. Where are you at? Where's it 11 p.m. right now? Let me know. No, thanks for joining. And up with me. Martha says, I have no sympathy for the mother that has witnessed her child being murdered and didn't go to the police. You know what, Martha? That is so true. How do you want me to have sympathy for you and you didn't have sympathy for your own daughter?
Right.
Why should I have sympathy for you? I mean, no. What they say, she did what? 3 years? That was her time served?
Sorry, that was
what is that?
That's my son.
Nothing. That is nothing.
No.
I mean, that's not enough for me. Not for you to, and then you hear him say, because the medical examiner says the baby could have possibly been placed in a refrigerator prior to them dumping her. He says, well, they tested the refrigerator and there was no evidence of that. And they also say, she says, they drove the body. He says they tested his car and there was no evidence of that either. So I'm just thinking, did she possibly do this to this little girl and he had no idea about it? She had issues with these demons and whatever the case may be. and just threw him in there and happened to roll the dice properly?
I think he was part of it. The way he's wording things, he's saying they don't have any evidence. That means you guys can't prove I did it or that I helped. That's what he's saying when he says you don't have any evidence.
Right.
He could say, you know, I didn't see anything, or I don't know what you guys are talking about as far as this and this and that. He's saying you don't have any evidence. Now what?
Right. And then he also said, what did he say? He said because there was no murder. So what does he mean? Like, he said you guys are charging me for a murder and there was no murder. So that's the part where I'm like, what do you mean by that? Well, she's not here, so there was a murder.
So if it's not murder, even if it's an accident, you still put the child in a bag and then you dump her in water. Come on now, like that's still, to me, that's murder, regardless.
Right. Definitely, most definitely. That is not right at all.
Because if you didn't try to help her, you just killed her.
Exactly. And then Etta B says she put her daughter in that toxic environment so she should face some kind of consequences. Yes. Like I said, the abuse was going on prior to her death. There was plenty of time for you to get out.
Yes.
Plenty of time. So I feel that she should do a little bit more time. I feel like, I mean, they say there's no limit to murder, the time, but probably because she has already been tried for it, I guess that would be double jeopardy. But there's something, I mean, child neglect, there's some way that she can get some type of something.
No, she need to get time for smiling while they were doing the mugshot.
Right. And I mean, for you to keep seeing how they described how much they were putting this picture out there, because no child went missing, nothing. They kept trying, and it took months. Could you imagine knowing that your child is missing, or knowing that your significant other has done something to your child, or you did something, and you constantly have to see this on TV, on posters everywhere, and you're just going about your life?
No, when she lays her head, she sees that child calling for her mom. No, mommy, don't do this.
Oh my God.
Conscience, I should say.
It seems like he has no conscience. Your excuse is you were scared?
That's not an excuse.
That's not an excuse. Hi, Latoya. How are you? Latoya says that case was here in Boston. The community is so sad. Yeah, I believe they wrote Boston's baby girl on her blanket and stuff like that. A lot of people were affected by this because of how long it was taking them to find her. Everyone grew attached to her because it's like, where is this little girl? They describe clothes. They're putting together these. So they fell in love with her little face, and then look at the story behind it. It's sad. Latoya.
I want to understand one thing. Why the heck did they not charge her for lying that her child was taken by CPS or the welfare or whatever?
I believe because she told that to like her neighbors and things like that. She didn't say that to the cops.
But she still told them she was missing because she was gone because somebody got her, right?
Well, she told the neighbors that they're like, oh, where's she at? They're like, oh, she got, taken. She's in another home.
And they didn't question that?
But that was just the neighbors, But I guess when the neighbor was describing, hey, I haven't seen her. She's saying this, and this looks like this baby. That's when they kind of hopped in, like, where's she at? We know she's not in CPS because they would know about it. So where is she at?
Right.
So that's how they were able to get that information. Crazy. Let's see, Latoya. She says, hi, I'm late. Hello, Miss Latoya, but I have a question for you. She also says the way she was found with the sad face. Yes, Latoya, how was it around that time? Did you see the news broadcast of Baby Bella.
Hop on. Tell her to
Yeah. Do you want to hop on the panel? If you want to hop on the panel, that would be perfect. Kind of let us know how the situation was during that time, if you can remember. Back in 2015, she was found on, let me get the date correct, I believe it was June 25th of 2015. Would you be, I'm going to toss the, what is it called? The link back into the chat. If you would like to hop on and kind of share with us a little bit of how it was, that would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
She says, yes, I've seen a few news clips. There goes the link in the chat. If you would like to hop on, you're more than welcome. I would greatly appreciate it. Miss Didi says, was the mom and boyfriend still together when they found the baby in the river? I believe so. I believe so, because when they were being questioned about where Bella was, they were saying, oh, you know, she got taken into a new home. They both were saying this. That's allegedly what I'm hearing. So
basically, she chose him over her own blood.
And this is happening way too much. And I'm trying to think, like, okay, so that's because she was conceived during a time when she was, you know, out on the streets and she was homeless, and that's how her and allegedly met. Did she not really care for baby Bella, or what was it? Latoya says, don't have StreamYard. But yes, the mom was with boyfriends. Let me see if I can make it to the point where she can call.
She doesn't have StreamYard.
She doesn't have to have StreamYard?
No, she does not.
Just, I believe you go onto the link, click on it, and it'll give you an option from Google to Safari to all the ones, and you can just click on that and it'll show you how to slide on in. She also says, I believe they were both on drugs. Allegedly, that's what I am seeing. I'm seeing different sources. I'm seeing that it was heroin or methamphetamine. I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the heroin, just based off the fact that she said that, you know, she went against the rules and was using Suboxone while she was on probation. So she was also going bad on her probation. I just don't understand why she didn't receive more time. So yes, Latoya, I'm going to see if I can. Are you on your phone? You knew, like on your phone. Like if I called you, will it mess you up right now so that I can have you get this number? Okay, cool. Let me see really quickly. Let me go find your number. I don't want to yell it out. Okay, can I make you small? Okay. Don't show it. Don't show it, but put it in. Oh wait, she might have been able to find it. Oh,
am I in? Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Hi, Latoya.
Hello.
So,
okay.
What was it? At that
so
time,
yeah, it was at that time it was definitely difficult for the community because everyone was searching for her, and then I think, I mean, somebody would have to pull up the article, but I think she was found in I can't really talk because my 5-year-old is right here, but I can't talk in too many details. But the way she was found was not in a good state, honestly. And it was just horrible. It was horrible. I don't remember if the mom was already like in custody when they found the baby, but I know they both were arrested, both the mom and the boyfriend.
Okay, so a question. What I gathered from the articles that I read was that a lady was walking her dog and she came across a bag and
On the beach, yes.
on the beach, on the shore, and when she called it in, they found it to be baby Bella. And
Baby Doe, yes. It was heartbreaking.
very, very. They said they could not identify her. They, her state proposition. So they had a forensic sketch artist put together what they believed Bella was to look like, and they said it took months for someone to say that, who she was. Did it take months? Was she constantly on air and in the media?
Actually, yeah, because it was like baby Bond, like you're right. They couldn't identify her right away. So it was like they had to basically give her like a nickname, and nobody was coming forward. So when they finally were able to identify her, that's when they were I think, were able to find out who her mom was, and her mom was arrested, and the boyfriend was arrested.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
it's so sad and heartbreaking to see how, if her story is true, that this guy, her boyfriend Michael, did really baby to the point of her no longer here with us. It's crazy, and it's getting out of hand how women are not looking into it before moving them in, having them around their children.
exactly, it's true, and I think it's, he probably was feeding the mom like drugs or something like that, and she probably took that over her own daughter, and then her daughter probably got hurt. Because for me, the way she was found in a bag, it was like a cover up, like they tried to cover it up. So sad. Like yeah. You said they found the dog. I mean, excuse me, somebody was walking with the dog, and the dog found the bag and like opened the bag or something like that, right? I'm not sure. I don't want to give out wrong information.
Yeah, no, this is just awful. I mean,
yeah,
you're fine. So I said she was walking. So I wonder if the dog kind of went up on the bag, or she see the bag and said, thought came like, okay, this looks like.
I think the bag was washed up on shore, way up, way up away from where, I guess, where they live. So it was kind of like washed up back on shore kind of thing.
What area was that? Like Boston Shore, Boston? Because they said they were calling her Dear Baby Doe.
Right. They found her in Deer Island, but she's from Dorchester, which is like 20 minutes into Boston. Like it's all a part of Boston. But Deer River Pond is like a little ways up, maybe an hour away drive.
Okay.
So they were searching.
There's a little bit breaking up. I don't know if it's because I'm on. So I'm.
Oh yeah, I'm on my cell phone. I apologize.
Okay. I get it. Another question. So when they finally, put it together, immediately arrested, did that come over the air, or was that kind of hush hush?
They immediately, they told them, they put that on the news right away.
Oh, okay.
Like once they identified her as Baby Bella.
Baby Bella. Oh my God. So did they say her story? Did that come out afterwards?
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
Okay, so they say that they gave her a. I'm wondering if she got like if they gave her the plea deal and that she with the story, or was that her story from the beginning that he did it?
Oh, I see. I can't remember exactly what happened. I'm sure that she probably blamed him. I'm sure she probably blamed him, but if that's your child and that's your boyfriend, then you're responsible because that's your child. You left him in his care, knowing that he could possibly be an addict, not in his right mind, maybe have some anger issues, maybe a record or something like that. So yeah, it's heartbreaking because the area where she's from, just in general, has like a lot of drug activity anyway. So definitely, like, people just have to look out for their kids, or when they see a child that's like, kind of just off by themselves, or they seem like they're getting hurt, or too many scratches or something, like, definitely ask what's going on. It doesn't hurt to ask, but things like that can be prevented.
Like it could have been prevented way before, because you heard the last clip. I don't know. You said like they said he locked her in a closet as the mother as well. So this was a pattern going. This wasn't a one situation where he flipped out, had a manic episode, and this happened. This was his continuous behavior.
Yeah.
So to me, it could have definitely been prevented. I'm going to go ahead and read a comment. It says, he stated the baby had a pink in her stomach when found, and the mom had pink pills. He did say, I wonder if they took that into consideration, because she had possibly went into some.
Right, and that happens a lot too, accidental overdose, but again, that's the parents' fault.
Right.
And then they're trying to cover it up. At the end of the day, they had her in a bag.
That's the part that gets me. You participated. Your own baby in a bag. I don't understand. If you knew has a question.
Oh,
or a complaint.
So what were the comments with everybody that was over there in Boston? Like, what kind of comments were they making? Were they believing that he was guilty, or she was more guilty, yes, or what was going on as far as people walking around talking about it?
I believe, like, me and my family were talking, and we believe they both were guilty. Especially as a mom. I mean, you have to protect your children with all you have, and even though we got caught up with a guy in feelings, we still have to put our children first, and think about if they're going to be in a safe environment. Because I mean, yeah, have a party, have a good time, but when it becomes dangerous for the kids, I mean, you have to watch what you're doing. So we were definitely, I don't want to say judgmental of her, but we were a little judgmental, because it's like, it's a little child that got hurt, and she chose drugs over a child.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's more of like being able to have resources for people who have addictions and help them, and not be so judgmental. And a lot of times, people don't want to ask help, or they don't know how to ask help. So I don't know if that was just the case there, but it definitely was like, she was being a selfish mom. She just, I don't know if she went off and like pretended like nothing happened. I'm sure she probably was like hiding and feeling bad for what she did. But it's no excuse. It's no excuse at all.
So I get that you're
Yeah.
saying your family and people in your family were talking about it, but I mean, like, if people on the streets, were you able to hear people on the streets saying, "Oh my God, I think she was part of the problem, not just him. I think he's part of it as well." Not just like
Yes,
it's
yeah, it's
all his
almost like
fault.
she could have avoided it, basically, if
Okay.
she wasn't with that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Definitely.
unless he just had like total control over her or
Well,
something. But yeah,
even that's a lot of women. I'm sorry to say, I've never been through that situation, so I can't really talk on it too much. Other than I feel like a lot of women who go through stuff like that, they're putting themselves in that and they're staying in that. There's a lot of help out there for them, but they stay. They decide. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry to say, but they decide to stay in that relationship. In
that's right.
that
That's how we.
relationship, and they're also deciding on their child being around that abusive person as well.
That's so true. That's so true. And also, I mean, if she was getting benefits from the baby, you know, welfare or assistance and things like that, that could be the reason why she had her baby versus, having somebody take care of her baby if she can't take care of her baby at the time.
Right.
Or if she knew she was going to be in an unsafe environment where it's not appropriate for
Right.
children to be around at the moment,
Right.
then maybe the dad's family can take her for a little while or a family member or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, when you don't ask for help and you keep things to yourself and then those bad things happen,
Yes.
it was just so terrible.
Yeah. And it's happening too often. It's happening too often, and people are having kids and thinking, oh, the welfare is going to take care of it. Okay, but you shouldn't have more. If I'm sorry, if you make one little mistake, oops, I'm sorry, I got pregnant. Even if you're like on birth control, some people do get pregnant off of with birth control. But let's just say they get pregnant off of birth control. You should learn from that one mistake if that's what it was. Now, you don't have the money to take care of that one child. Why do you go getting more kids? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I feel they should learn from that one mistake, if it was a mistake, unless they do it on purpose. But like I said, you can't live off of them for long. And as a matter of fact, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think they're going to start racking up on people and telling people, you know what? No, you got to get off. You got to go get you a job. You got to find another way to make money because we're about to shut down this thing. Because people are lying left and right and getting on this food stamp that they don't need it, or the checks that they should not be getting, but they're getting it by lying. They got
some of it too is like having a blind eye. You might see something going on, but you won't say anything or speak up because you're like, well, that doesn't have anything to do with me. But meanwhile, the child looks sad, or
yes.
the child is crying, or the parent is yelling, or something. Just like red flags like that, where like, okay, something's going on here. Let me see if they're okay. Some people, they're like, they're nervous to get involved because they don't want to get like the backlash of somebody getting upset with them because they feel like they're intruding. But sometimes it's actually good to step in and say, hey, is everything okay? Do you need a hand? Or something like that, because then that's just like a red flag there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like I seen this one lady in Walmart. She was dragging her daughter, and I looked at her, and she just stopped. Cause I just looked at her. I was like, "Are we serious here? You're gonna drag her like that?" And then the girl was like, handicapped. She had a brace. It wasn't like a fake handicap. She had a brace, and she was dragging her daughter out because she was asking for, I don't know if it was chips or what it was, but she was trying to get some chips, and I was like, I'll pay for them. That is not a problem. But the lady just snatched her and took her out the store, and I was like, I looked at her. She turned around to see who was looking at her, or if anybody's gonna be on the phone telling on her tale. She looked right at me, and I gave her that look like, yeah, you might want to stop. I'm not the one
they're so little.
I'm sorry.
Kids are so smart. They know, like, sometimes they know, like, if you just tell them, like, don't do that. Just talk to them. You'll get a better reaction.
Yes.
Most of the time, like, I have to give my son like a calm breathing session. So breathe in, breathe out. I know you want this toy right now. You'll have to give me 5 minutes or whatever, incentive I tell him. Because if I'm like, you need to wait a minute and raising my voice, then it'll just elevate at the same time.
Right.
It's
Right.
like a battle of
Yeah.
like
They
the
definitely
screaming matches.
They definitely know. My
Yeah.
husband used to just look at my kids and they knew not to do what they were about to do. Just one little look. And I'm sitting there going, I'm telling your dad, and they know, don't play with me. I'm telling your dad. And he just has to look at them and that's it. He doesn't even have to put his hands on them. He would just look at them and they're like like the cat ate the canary, what I'm saying? She's like, that's how he do it. I guess because his dad used to do him like that. And that look would be all they needed. He never had to do their own thing. And they
Okay, I'm going to read a comment really quickly. Miss Diddy says, the medical examiner said the way her mom described how she died was not possible, but it's unlikely. He couldn't come to a conclusion of death, either strangulation or a blow to the chest basically could have caused her a heart attack. So, I mean, even the way she passed, they weren't able to corroborate that together. It's like, what really happened here? And how come a man is serving a life sentence without them being 100% sure of what is going on? They should have done more of this. And mom should not have gotten off scot-free. Or am I going in and out? You can hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear. I can hear.
But
My phone is a little choppy.
He needed to, so I'll hop out a little bit one more time.
That's right. I'll be in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Latoya. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you. Thanks for giving us some type of insight on, I like that. I like when people are in the area that we're speaking about, and they can kind of give some insight to what it was at the time, or, the situation and how the community was about it, the coverage, everything. It makes us get a better picture of.
Yeah, they got more insight than we do because we're not from
Right. Right. I mean, that's the way I felt in Murray case when I went out there. I mean, I kind of knew the area, but being there, I pulled up and seen the sign and seen all the stuff out there. Like, you could have, my voice started shaking. Tears just came, and I don't even know, but it just, it touches you. It really does. Etta B says, just sickening. Shay Works by Faith says, I'm back. Oh, yeah, she did the groceries. They're saying, thank you, Latoya. So, thanks for calling in. Yes. Martha also says, thanks, guys, for, showing everyone love. I was in the comments earlier today, over some of my comments, and I mean, there's this very, very, very long comment, and I just said, like, hey, come on to whatever, because if people feel, get their word out or have something to say, hey, if you don't want to spend your time writing that, go ahead, leave me an email and say, next time you go on, can I talk about this topic? For sure you can. Whether I fully agree with the topic or not, everybody say their opinion on something, and we all listen. We're all adults here, and we agree to disagree on things. We can say our point of view and not get all upset. And we're not going to get kicked out and things like that, as long as we can respect each other and, respect that other people see things and view things a different way. We're all good.
Yeah. Keep it clean and respectful, you're good.
Say it again.
Keep it clean and respectful and you're good.
Exactly. You could say, I feel that she did all her time, she got no time at all, or they both should have had no time, and whatever you want, whatever It's his
We respect everybody's opinion.
Correct. So I think there's like one more I wanted to play, and then I'll read our last few comments and we can get on out of here. Go ahead and look that up. Let's see. What's it? Which tab? I have so many tabs open. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read this. It says, "How was Bella Bond identified? The child was identified as Bella Nevaeh, also Bond." Okay, espérate. Hold on, guys. Or hold on, I gotta check this out. Keep it going, you.
So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of people who don't need to have kids just don't need to have kids. And if you got an abusive man, you really don't need to bring them around your kids, because if they're abusing you, most likely they're going to be putting their hands on your kid. They may not start like that, but they'll gradually get into it where they're going to be so comfortable that they will start fussing at them, putting their hands on them, and basically they take the dads or the moms, depending on, vice versa. It could be woman or man. Like I said, when they put their hands on you, it could be a man or a woman. Nowadays I know it used to be more men, but it's starting to become women putting their hands on men. So the same thing for the child. Either it's a woman or a man. They're going to get so comfortable that they're going to start putting their hands on people's kids. And that's when things turn for the worse, because they just get too comfortable in it. And then one of these days, that child's going to do one little thing. Most of the time, it's maybe they use the bathroom on themselves and they got to do a little extra work. And that just seems like the worst thing in their life, is that they got to clean a child. And then they'll go and do what they got to do to make their feel better. And that's not what. All right, go ahead, babe.
Sorry, guys. I told you guys how the pipes burst in the backyard, so that's just helping out with that. Yes, it says, how was Bella Bond identified? The child was identified as Bella Nevaeh Amoroso Bond on September 18th, 2015. So she washed up ashore and was found on June 25th, 2015. So we have June, July, August, September. So they cannot identify her for that amount of time. So that was all that news coverage. Rochelle seeing all these clips and boards and everything and said nothing about her daughter. The identification was made after the sister of one of Rochelle's Bond's neighbor reported to the police a link between Bond and so the sister of one of her neighbors is who reported it. Like I said, I was trying to think of what it was. The neighbor was telling his sister, like, "Hey, this looks like her. Hey, this looks like my neighbor. I haven't seen this little girl, and this looks like her." And they're telling me this story, and it just doesn't seem to make sense. She's like, "That's it. I'm calling them." And lo and behold, that's exactly who was missing. Miss Didi says everyone has a different opinion. Hold on. Mike, can you guys hear me clearly? Let me see. Can you guys hear me better? Okay, cool. Miss Didi says everyone has a difference of opinion, and that's very true. And we all should be able to voice it. It's doing it again. Hold on, let me see. I don't have my own live, but let me see what I can do here. Can you guys hear me better? Or am I going in and out? Because people are saying, your mic keeps going in and out. Sounds like I'm hoarse. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know if that's the issue. Like robotic? How do I fix that, guys? Do you know?
It's the StreamYard. It's not you, it's a StreamYard. It'll do
okay, because you guys sound a little bit sketchy, and the Latoya was kind of sounding a little bit in and out. Kind of meaning hurry up and wrap this up. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. So let me see something really quick.
Wait, as soon as you say that, it's clear.
I wonder if it was my fan in the background. Do I sound clear or no?
It sounded clear for a quick second, like we're getting up, and now it's doing it again.
Interesting.
I think it's the StreamYard.
Okay. Was I clear earlier?
We can hear you. It's just robotic. Like it's crinkling. Like
all right, I'm going to say these few points. No, I don't think it was your phone, Latoya. I don't think it was your phone. She says, yes, my phone. I don't think
it's not. It's the StreamYard.
It sounds a little bit robotic. So I'm going to just say this really quickly, and we'll wrap this up. We'll call it a day. Yeah, so that's how that came about, was the neighbor. He wanted to say something. Like I said, at first they were saying the picture didn't quite look like her to me. But either way, she was found. And then even after they identified her, she was buried until 5 months after that. So imagine, guys, little baby wasn't even able to just be at peace. Where is, I wanted to.
Naomi, is that the same neighbor that ended up, he was on drugs and then he got off of drugs because of the little girl? Is that the neighbor?
Say it again.
Remember the guy that said because of what happened, when he found out about her or something like that, he said that he got off of drugs. He was doing drugs. Remember him and that lady that were talking? And I think he said that was her brother that was on drugs.
Oh, what made him want to think clearer?
Right. That
okay. I'm unsure because I'm doing too many stories right now, but I believe I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's possibly in the last video I just posted in one of those little news clips. Miss Didi says, even Bella's grandmother said it was unfair of a deal her daughter, it was unfair that her daughter got. She should be held accountable also because she didn't do anything to help her child. If your own mother is saying that, guys, I think, I'm not saying our system is just completely trash. I'm not saying that, but there are a lot of people I believe is in prison and have licenses and has committed no crime or has not committed the crime that they were accused of to the capacity they're saying. Okay, I'm gonna grab it in a second. So I feel like we need to do a little bit better on that end. ¿Qué pasó? I mean, what's up? So basically that's it, guys. Let's go ahead and get off of here. We can just discuss in the chats any other things, and we can come back and talk about it. But I do have another case I want to talk to you guys about. I wanted to bring awareness to this case and to this situation because I do not feel that it's served. And if more people can hop on the bandwagon and talk about this and get Baby some justice, because this can happen again. Continue to happen, because we see it happened. Either the situation, friend doing something to a child, a girlfriend doing something to a child, the case, the Samuel case, still haven't heard anything extra on that. So, I mean, it's the same story, different characters over and over again. We have from these situations. Miss Didi said,
Malia Davis, right?
Huh?
Starting with Malia Davis.
Malia Davis. That's one that I will never understand. I do not understand how no one has been charged with this little girl's murder. I don't understand it.
Just tampering with the boyfriend with the tampering, but that's it. Like, why not?
So then he would have to know what happened to this corpse if you're tampering with it. Because if you see a corpse, are you just gonna go dispose of it by yourself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be like, oh, there's a dead body. Let me go dispose of this. No, you're gonna say, whoa, let me call the police.
Let me report it.
You know, get the coroner.
Mom, them fake tears, boy. Not one time have I seen that woman cry. She probably cried only when she thought she was going to jail, but that's about it.
Right. She cried for herself. She didn't cry for her baby.
Exactly.
Not one tear. I didn't see
tear.
I didn't even see her eyes watery.
Exactly. Nothing. Nothing. She did this, and nothing came out. No matter how hard she squeezed her eyes, nothing came out.
Nothing.
She should have put some Visines in them puppies if she was going to do
something, or just keep it real. You're telling me what happened. Just keep
exactly, because you know that was so fake and all that. Nothing, no, not a drop of tear came out your eye. Like, you could tell it wasn't even wet, no tissue, nothing.
Nothing. Miss Didi says, no, you knew that was the boyfriend's best friend. I don't know which one she's talking about. Are you talking about this case? Didi also says, yes, keep us informed of these cases, ladies. Yes, in the building. I just want make it make sense, because all these cases, I don't understand.
No sense.
I just don't understand.
No sense.
I say that. Make it make sense to me.
I got something to say about the summer situation. You got a second?
Okay, go ahead.
I had an epiphany today. Okay.
What?
I was sleeping, and I had like I guess you could say I seen something. Okay. It wasn't in my sleep.
Premonition.
I wasn't basically. Okay. So remember when I told you guys that picture when Summer was naked and the dad? I covered her up because she was pure naked. Remember? And they were at that construction yard. The dad and some other guy.
Are you talking about when she was in the pool?
No, where the wood was. They had wood, and then she was climbing on top of the wood, and I put that black circle on her. She was pure naked.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Okay. Well, how about the guy that's working with him could have did something to her, since he's so open with his daughter. He went and did something to her. He's not gonna do anything but go and do what to her after that? He's gonna kill her and get rid of her body. It just popped in my head. I was like, wait a minute, work. That guy was working with him. And then that's what came in my head. And I was like, I'm going to tell Naomi about this. But I knew I was going to do it on the live, though.
No. We're going to have to discuss that.
Abducted, right? She supposedly got abducted. So how about he took her, did what he did to her, and then disposed of her? I mean, God forbid this is what
I hope she's alive. Oh my gosh, I hope she's alive.
Me too.
I hope that's, I don't know. I just want to believe that they're really into this social media, want some attention, negative attention. I want her to just pop up and get all of our minds together.
But if she's not alive, she's in a better place if you think about this. If she's being essayed over and over and over and over, I would have preferred God be with her. You know what I'm saying? Because that's better than being abused like that.
She can go to a better home. But see, that's what
I'm
scares
not
me.
talking about the parents. I'm
I
talking
will
about if
say,
somebody has her. I'm saying if somebody has her and they're sitting there abusing her every night over and over, I would prefer
right,
up in heaven with, you know, the good Lord. If you know,
right, right.
because they got some crazy stuff that goes on out in the world.
I mean, I
I
hope that.
pray not. But I hope they just have her in a room and they're just trying to get, like you said, publicity. But I
Right,
don't know
right.
how that will go.
And just make her show up somewhere. I mean,
That
it's
is bad.
now. It makes no sense. The story makes no sense on how it just vanished. Now, when Chris McDonough showed the layout of it just from that picture, we didn't get the full view. Do I still sound robotic?
A little bit, not as bad.
Not as bad. Okay.
No, not as bad. You
When
go
he
in and
shows,
out, like you're going in clear, and then it'll go robotic clear, but we still can hear you. We can hear you.
I think
Not
it's
as
StreamYard.
bad.
It's not
It's not
bad.
as bad. It's not as bad.
Can you keep it going real quick? Let me hand him his food.
Okay. All right. Tell him I said hey. Okay. So basically, I don't know. It's just like an epiphany. Right after I woke up, and the first thing I thought about was the guy he was working with, and there's a picture of Summer on top of the wood, and she's like, when I tell you the way she came into the earth, like she came out of her mom, pure naked. And I had to cover her up because there was no way I was just going to show her body. She was just naked, and she was like she had her knees up on the wood, and then she had her hands down. It's almost like a doggy position, I guess you could say. And then I covered it up because she was kneeling, and then she kind of like had her hands down. Anyway, I just saw that picture like that one time, and then I erased it, so I don't have it anymore because I really don't have any reason to keep it. But it was on her mom's, either on Donald's or it's on Candace's Facebook. I'd have to see if I could find it again and then show it to you guys. But I'll also mark her up and put that circle around her body again, just show her little head, just her head. It's just kind of weird how they were okay with a man seeing his daughter naked like that. That was just kind of out there for me. Like, no way. If I had a daughter, the only thing they're gonna be able to see is her legs and her arms. All that other stuff is not gonna show. That I don't know how they were so comfortable with showing their little daughter naked like that, or having their daughter naked like that around another person, another grown man. It wasn't a child. It wasn't a teenager or somebody like her brothers or anything like that. It was a guy. It was a grown man, and they were working doing construction. So I don't know if you guys seen that or not. Let me look at the comments and see if you guys have any questions. Oh shoot. There we go. Oh, let me put my other glasses on. These are better for reading this small writing. Okay. When the drugs and alcohol. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Dee Dee said we know that the so-called abductor didn't get in the house in that basement, inside the house. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying that. I don't know. It's something that just came to my mind. Like I never thought anything of it, but that literally came like it out of nowhere. My kids were in the living room, and then my son came in the room, and then I was like, you gotta hear what I have to say. And then I told him what it was, and he's like, well, you never know, because they say when you're sleeping, that's your clearest time to think. while you're sleeping. And if things come to you while you're sleeping, most of the time that's your clearest time. Like he said, it's your clearest time. I don't know if they call it. Some people say you woke or whatever, but I call it just like you're thinking clearly. So I'm thinking, was I don't know if somebody, like, I might have been watching some videos and somebody might have just said some stuff and it just came through my dream. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't explain it. I'm not psychic, just so you know. I'm not psychic. I do believe in some of the things the psychics say, but I'm not psychic. So I'm wondering if something like that could have happened. It doesn't have to be the guy he was working with, but just the fact that he had his daughter out there naked like that in front of everybody was, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I don't care how old your daughter is. I don't care if she's a baby. You still don't do that around grown men. You don't know what you have around you. Just because you work with him doesn't mean you know him and what he's thinking inside. Like, he could be thinking anything with your daughter around. So what do you guys think? So you think that there's any kind of abduction, kidnapping? I mean, what do you think? I don't know, because they keep saying abduction. I don't know if that's a reality of it or not. So Candace said that the doors were locked, no way in or out, but go downstairs and say she wasn't sure if this door was locked or not. Yeah, and then the way she made it seem like when she was Chris, I don't know if you guys noticed it, she was making it look like the door was hard to open. Or could it have been the door is kind of hard to open? Could she have walked out and somebody was right there and saw her and grabbed her? Or could it be the thing that I thought about? Because there are like trenches out there. There's like cracks in the ground that she could have fell in and seem to find her. I don't know. All I know, this is just something, I'm not saying this is what happened. I'm saying this is just something that came to my mind when I woke up out of my dream. It was just like something, I normally don't remember dreams, but that one was just so vivid. It was crazy that I saw the guy and it was vivid. That's the only thing I can say. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it was very vivid. Do you have any more comments?
So, what did I miss? What did I miss?
Well, I already answered the Dee Dee question. I don't see any other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what she said, I'm saying. Not question.
Did you answer the questions of Miss Dee Dee and I believe?
Yeah, the rest of them are actually what they had said. They were commenting on what they
said. I'm way at the top. I'm not even up to date on what you guys are at the top of the chats.
No, they're talking about Bella the rest of the way. I was actually trying to see if they say anything about Summer's situation.
Say it again because they're back there. It's really loud over here.
I'm saying the only thing I had answered was things about Summer. I didn't answer anything about Bella, but they were talking about Bella at the top, and I was answering what was said about Summer. And she was saying about locked door or open or unlocked door. But I was saying, like, when she was doing that Chris interview, the way she was grabbing at the door, like it was jamming, kind of like a little hard to open kind of thing. So they're basically to make it look like, oh, Summer can't open the door, or it's too hard for her to open the door. She's 5 years old and she's like probably like 40 pounds. If I don't think she's any more than that. Tiny. And when she opened the door, she was like she made it like it's kind of hard to do.
Trying to set up the narrative for
the scenario,
what it is.
Right.
I mean, it seems like all of she's trying to. How do you feel? Wait, how do you feel about the shed when he was like, "Oh, can I look in the shed?" And she was like, "Yeah, no." Like, what do you think's up with the shed?
Okay, they were trying to say that Don was in the shed. That's why she didn't let him see that he was in there, but it wasn't his truck. It wasn't even his truck. It was Chris's truck. It was Chris's truck. They thought Chris's truck was Don's truck, but they retracted that. They fixed it. But I think he didn't want him to go. This is what Tennessee, the coral area kind of thing, and they were saying that a lot of people in Tennessee who have sheds like that, their pride is their tools and things like that they don't want nobody to know about and go steal it, so they don't tell nobody about it. They don't want nobody going in there. But come on now, Chris was actually right there with you. What's he gonna go do? You know what I'm saying? You could have let somebody look at it while you were right there with him.
She probably didn't want it on camera because my father he's always had one at every house I know we've lived at. He's always had a shed, always, and all his tools are in there. It's like his man cave. He has all his stuff in there. Only as an adult I'm able to go in there because I have to help him fix the car.
Right.
I have to help with this, so he'll tell me to go get whatever tool. But as a younger child, I couldn't go in there.
Yeah.
It's like his thing, and then my brothers couldn't go in there. Only as a little bit older, I mean, like 6, 7, 8-ish, they were able to be teaching them things to do. But me as a girl, no, that was like the guy area.
Yeah.
I can see that, her not wanting it on camera, but if he was just like, hey, you know,
maybe he has valuable tools in there. He doesn't want somebody snatching up. And I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. He just bought a electric saw, the one that you cut trees down with. He left it down there by the tree for like a few seconds. I'm not even kidding you. He came in the house real quick and came right back out, and his saw was gone. He had to go buy a whole nother brand new one. Now he keeps it under lock and key because these people down, like I'm talking, somebody from the neighbor's friend saw it when they were getting in their car, and they took off with his saw. And that's messed up because my husband just paid $600 for that thing. So he went and got him an $800 one that he keeps in house and keeps it locked and key. You can't trust nobody. We don't even know the guy that did it. We just know that it was one of the neighbors, somebody that came over to their house, saw the saw next to it. And the thing about it was crazy is he was cutting their tree down. He was helping them with their tree.
Wow, the nerve.
That's what you do when somebody helps you. You have your friend go snatch a saw that don't belong to them. And we have to call the pawn shop because they smoke weed. So they I don't know if they want to go buy that stuff or not, but we checked the pawn shops for it. Nobody has any idea where it is.
Wow. You know what? I remember a similar story when I was younger. My dad had just got a brand new lawnmower. There's this guy still to this day, like this guy is older because back when I was small, he was old. And I mean, he's slim, slender. He just walk up and down the street trying to find work. So my dad would, help him be like, yeah, you can, mow the lawn or, cut down the trees, do stuff around the house, but he would use my tools. My dad gets a new lawnmower. We literally see because we're like, where's the lawnmower? We see him mowing another neighbor down the way, a couple streets over, the yard with my dad's lawnmower. The nerve! Like, you don't. What did you think? I mean, back then, there's no cameras, but you didn't think you're gonna do it in the same neighborhood. So I can't see why she probably didn't want that on the camera, like I said. But what's Chris gonna do if he just peeked in by himself?
Yeah.
Did we answer the question of let me see.
And they keep saying something about underground. What do you think about maybe what if that tool shed has a door under it that you can't see?
Like a little trap door.
Yes. You just don't know.
We don't know a lot. Did you see how they have to get to the downstairs?
In the basement? I would have hit my head on the way down. Are you kidding me?
Chris was like, is there another way down?
She said it wouldn't make no sense to go any other way. Why not? Is the other way where Summer is?
Right.
There's something up.
Just burnt my arm in the oven.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. You know how you kind of graze it when you getting something?
Yeah, you might need to go get a potato because that actually helps real good when you take a slice of potato and then put it on there on your arm. It doesn't get scarred as bad.
I heard of mustard. I heard of toothpaste.
Toothpaste. I've heard of toothpaste.
Heard of that.
But potatoes.
But it's little. It's very little. I don't even know if you can see it. It's so little, but I didn't realize it, and I just scratched it, and that's what made me notice. You can really see it.
I can see it.
This is really, really little.
I see it. Yeah.
And you see another from more of the oven. I tear myself
What's
up.
crazy? That's your right arm?
Yeah.
I have the exact same burn. No lie. Let me see if you can see it because it's old as dirt. Let me see if you can see it. It is old as dirt. Oh my God, you can barely see it though. Oh no. But it was right here. I did it on my friend's mom's. She was ironing. I didn't know the iron was hot, and we were running around the doggone ironing board, and the iron just went. I was like, oh shoot.
Wow, that's funny. You could tell.
I knew about potatoes. I knew that about potatoes from her.
Potatoes.
I put a potato on my arm. She took a slice and it actually cooled it down. That's crazy.
Wow. So fellas, I know we barely have guys in the building, but if you look at a girl's dominant arm or something, if she has burns everywhere, if it's not from, well, the opposite arm would be like the flat iron burns. This arm would be like more of cooking. You know? Latoya says, tell me if you answered this. Latoya says, did you read any of these? When drugs and alcohol are involved, the babies are never safe. That is so true. The Madeleine McCain situation. I'm not saying there was any drugs, but they were off having drinks at the, the little restaurant. Even though it was as innocent as that, look, babies aren't safe. You can't mix the two. Have a sober person there if you're gonna drink. Okay? If you want to go do your fun house drugs or whatever, do not involve your children. Let your children go to their grandparents. Let your children go somewhere where they're safe and you make your not so good choices by yourself. Okay? I just don't get that.
Yeah, we're not saying anybody doing drugs. We're saying if you have to do it, don't do it around your kids. Get your kids away from that situation because you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what that drug's going to do to you. That you don't know if that drug has been laced with LDC, whatever the heck that stuff is.
LSD.
LSD. Let me tell you a story.
What is LSD?
My sister. This is a story. It's going to be short. My sister ended up in a hospital because somebody laced her cigarette with LSD.
A cigarette?
A cigarette. They dipped it and they put
it back. They put it back. That thing. Doesn't that have like an awkward smell? Wouldn't she know that? Like, what doesn't it have like a weird smell?
Thinking about it, I don't know if I wasn't there, but when I heard about it, she was in the hospital and they had her handcuffed to the bed because she was all over the place.
Crazy.
Lost it.
Wow. You know what? I feel like it's so messed up. You know, because I've been drugged. And I feel like that is so messed up to do something, to just have them unknowingly be under the influence of something. Like anything could have happened to me. You don't know what that person's reaction would be. And some people think things like that is crazy. Even with things such, as little as just marijuana. It's not funny.
Nope.
Because you're just putting a person in a situation that they didn't ask to be in. And I don't feel that's right. That is at all. Miss Diddy says, we know the so-called abductor didn't go to the basement through the inside of the house. I'm just saying. They definitely couldn't have did that because you would have to know. Because then it was like under there. It looked like it was under like a cabinet or like what would be a counter in your kitchen. Yeah.
Like a counter in the kitchen. I think that's what they said it was when they go under like that. That was the kitchen.
But that's so weird. It didn't even come about.
Was it the kitchen?
And then when she did it, It did, like
I
part of the island.
Yeah.
And like, she had to like turn backwards and like go down.
Yeah.
Like that was so awkward. Like I said, it
What's
has to be
with
somebody that knows them
Yeah.
to even know about any of this stuff.
And I'm wondering, do they know this person that did this? Could this have been the guy with the construction?
It could be so many things. Like we're all trying to put our finger on it, and I know, guys, we were
Could it have
talking.
been somebody? Okay, and that's another thing. Okay, so now they got the kids, right? I'm hoping if the kids know who got in that house, I'm not saying somebody did get in out, but let's just say, the scenario. Somebody got in that house, and it's somebody they knew well enough to allow them to go in without a problem.
I mean, that whole where the at is just not, your mind cannot just let you think it was that easy for what they're claiming happened. There had to be some type of preparation. You would not just select this home.
Oh, I'm not saying they're not part of it. I'm not saying they're not part of it. I don't know about the dad, but I don't know if it's the mom and I don't know if it's the dad. I have no idea which one it would be, or if either one of them or both of them. I don't know. I know if it was planned, one of them had to let that person, hey, we're gonna be coming at a certain time. This is when you go. But I don't mean on the phone. I mean like you said, preparation prior to that day. This day we're going to go take her to go to the hospital, or we're gonna go take her to the pharmacy to go get her medicine, or we're gonna go to the pond, and when we get back, it's gonna be this certain amount of this time, and I need you to have snatched her up by this time. Because
right. And do you feel?
Why? Go ahead.
Do you feel that that's what Hunter was talking about when he was saying, she didn't want to see something on her phone or something like that? Do you think this was in preparation for that? Like, remember towards the end of the interview?
It's done. It's done.
Yeah, and she didn't, no. After he's seen the it's done. Okay, remember when, like, I guess they were on their way back to the house or something like that, and she didn't want him to see the phone or what was she saying? She didn't want him to hear.
Dealer, right?
The what?
Talking about when she was talking to the drug dealer.
No, I think she was talking to Don or something like that, and she didn't want him here. I have to go back and watch it.
You're talking about that there's somebody in the yard, or some guy that wants to.
No, I gotta go back and watch the part about, because when he was saying that, I was like, well, she was letting him see the other stuff before. Why not now? Like, it was towards the end of when she was going to drop him off and stuff like that. I have to go back because there were so many different, clips that I was watching that I'm gonna have to go back and see what was actually said, because I don't know. The story is just got me all over the place.
It is all over the place. This is probably one of the worst cases of loops and turns and twists and all over the place.
Right up there with Cal City.
It's crazy.
Right up there with the Cal City boys. Like,
it's crazy.
I don't want to be lost again. We don't need to have another one of these stories where we have no legitimate answers.
Yeah.
No.
I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Okay. It says, I said Candace says. Miss Didi says, Candace said the doors were locked. No way in or out. But go downstairs and say she wasn't sure if this door was locked or not. Right, Miss Didi. So, was the doors locked? Were they unlocked? Do you know? Do you not know? Like, she would say something and then contradict what she's saying. Say this happened, and then later on in the story, oh no, that wasn't a part of the story. Just like with the timeline, she made it a point to say, oh no, we did do the things, but it's in a different order. Even if it was in a different order, you still left out whatever order you're saying is the true order. You left out so many different places that you guys went and you didn't say it in the beginning. Why not? Why not? Etta B says CPS has the boys, so so now things may change. They will question them in more depth now. That's a good thing. Just like with the Cal City boys, they were taken out of their custody. I wonder what more information they know now, and they're just not telling us. And I see why they don't want to tell the public, because look how they have been acting towards the police who's trying to help them. Why would they satisfy what we want to if they see how they are being treated like they're nothing? Makes no sense, guys. We gotta, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. Sure, we have all heard that. Miss Didi says, I think something was in the shed and they didn't want anyone to see it. But she didn't care what her house looked like to show it. Right. And I'm like, is that the norm over there? I mean, because she wasn't embarrassed at all. It's not like she didn't know that they were going to come interview. Wait. And if the boys were supposedly okay, one story says they went to work with Dawn. The other was they were cleaning for CPS. What were they cleaning? Can somebody let me know what they're cleaning? Because I don't see not one part of that house clean. I don't see a floor look mopped. I don't see papers picked up. I don't even know if I seen a vacuum. I don't even know if I seen a broom. Are there even any cleaning products in there? Do you see how they had her toys? I mean, my son's toys be everywhere. But I can say, make sure every toy is in a box. Whatever's not in a box is going in the trash. She can't even say that. Look at that. It looked like a tornado went through that house.
And did you see how the boys have beds, but she has, I don't know, I didn't even see a bed for her.
She has like a little
mattress
pallet in the corner or something. I don't know what that was. Like a little pallet. You know what you make when your friends come over and you're having a sleepover and you guys want to take a pallet? That's what it looks like she had in the corner.
Yeah, I
Then
didn't
you
see
see
a bed.
it looked healthy downstairs. Like her toys was on. It looked like a garage. Like when it's just the shell of the garage. So it's not actual walls, just like the wooden planks. It looked. I don't know. It didn't look safe. And she's fine. So imagine if she was there when she was months old, a year old. I mean, that just doesn't look somewhere safe for a child to be. To me.
So what do you guys think about where those 8 dogs are? Or the 8 puppies in that cutty?
Did you see all the cats? It was a you just kept seeing her pick up cat after cat after cat. I was like, dang.
I'm talking about the hole on the side of the house. There's a big hole that has 8 dogs in it. Or 8 puppies.
That's where she put the puppies at. When the puppies. Have they checked that?
And then another thing, just saying, you guys, he is in construction. It does not take that long to put concrete over somebody's body in that hole and then have those puppies roaming around like it's a place for puppies to hang out.
That is just crazy.
My mind be going everywhere because I be watching too much of that CSI stuff, and I seen somebody do that. They buried They buried somebody in their own yard.
In a what?
They buried somebody in their own yard and put concrete on top of it on CSI. So that made me.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They could have did that.
Hold on a second.
Okay. What do you guys think about that? It's possible. I mean, there's a lot of scenarios since they don't want to tell us what happened. All we could do is speculate. And one of my speculations is that side of that house with that hole, that big opening where she said there was 8 puppies in there. Uh, it's possible. I mean, could it be that's why the puppies are in there? Could it be because they're in there, they smell something? Who knows? I mean, I'm just saying. It doesn't take long for concrete takes a few days to dry. By the time, like, unless they have the cops at their house from the time that Summer was missing, that's the only way they'll see them did that work, because he's in construction. It's not something that's going to be hard to hide. I'm just saying. I don't know. Speculating. Possibility. Let's see. Yeah, I believe, yes, Latoya, it is sad. Latoya said missing and abducted kids have more, awareness. Not one story on the news. Yeah, they do have a lot of them out there that are probably not on the news, and if they are in the news, they're hard to find. You have to like search for it. I don't know. Oh, I feel like every scenario we throw out there, one of them, sooner or later, somebody's going to get it. Somebody's going to figure it out. Somebody's going to figure it out. And I don't know if it's going to come out right away or not, but somebody's got to figure it out. So can you guys, okay, I know you guys are, I mean, I'm not 100%, like I said, mine's are scenarios. Mine's could be, it's a possibility. I don't know. What do you think could be where she could be at? I mean, I heard she could be in the trenches, like she walked out and she fell into one of the trenches. I thought about that because when I saw that crack in the ground, like I said, at that pond, when I saw that crack in that pond and she was sitting there showing them flowers, and then there was like a crack in the ground, in that dirt, to where like you could actually put a body in there, and then moved it back and showed Hunter out there in the water, throwing water at Summer. You never know. Could she have walked out of the house? Because they're saying she. Okay, so if the door was locked, let's just say the scenario is the door was locked. Okay, the door is locked. If it was locked, then how did somebody get in to get in the house to get into that basement? I know there's another way. I don't know which other way is. I haven't seen anybody going the other way, but there's supposed to be 2 ways to get into that basement. I'm assuming on the other side of the house. I don't know, but I know that there's the one where you go under that table or whatever that is, island, and then there's okay, let's just say the door was locked. How did anybody get in there if the door is locked? Was the person in the house already? They unlocked the door and they left out, because that was the plan, is the person was already in that house. They unlocked the door. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I don't think she ever made it home. Yeah, that's why I was saying it might be that, I hate to say it, but that crack in the ground that I saw from that video when Summer was swimming. Should have at least up to 50 people looking for her in 100 yards home. Yeah, exactly. They had a lot of people looking for her. It kind of like slacked down a little because they couldn't find her, but they got Echo Search looking for her. I haven't heard anything since, but one of the guys was saying they don't think that she's going to be, basically she's not going to be the same. And when he said that, it made my heart drop. Like, it sounds like he's saying that she's not going to be alive. But so how about this scenario? I just thought about something. Remember, Hunter said Dawn took the boys to work. Okay, hold on. Dawn took the boys to work. Nobody was home because she took her mom to the hospital because of her knee injury. They went to go get her medicine filled from the hospital. Now I'm just going to tell you, if she had a knee injury from before, she might have like arthritis in it. They said she might have like a plastic knee or whatever, some kind of knee device or whatever. Anyway, so she has a brace and whatever else. Okay, let's just say. So they went to the pond. Okay. She allowed Summer to go back in the house because that person was already in that house. They left that door open for that person to get in. One way or another, that person might have been already in there. Summer went in, they snatched her and took off with her. What do y'all think about that? What do you think about that scenario? Do you guys think that's a possibility that that person was already in that house? Because if Don took those kids, then that's probably the only time he ever probably took those kids to work, if he took them to work. I'm not saying he did, but let's just say he took them to work. Okay? And that person was already in the attic or in the basement. I'm sorry, in the basement. He was already in the basement. Lying and waiting, as they said, waiting for her to come, waiting for them to come home. And Summer went in the house. The mom supposedly, oh, I'm going to go do this brace, but hey, I'm going to give you enough time to grab my daughter and go. What do y'all think about that? That's what I'm, or like, yeah, either way. But because the reason why I'm saying locked is because they kept saying the door was locked. So Dawn said unlocked, but she said locked. So there's like another contradiction between them two. So what I'm saying is, let's just say it was locked. That person was in the house, okay? Already in the house. They unlocked the door to let Summer in because we don't know if she walked her to the door or opened the door for her, or we don't know any of that. We just know that she said she saw her go through the door. Okay, let's just say, okay. So let's just say, let me start over because I just thought about something. You know how they said somebody might have been lying and waiting? And
somebody what?
They're lying and waiting. They're lying and waiting for them.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Let's just say the door was locked. That person's already in the house. Dawn took the kids to work.
Okay.
So the boys didn't see the person in the house. Let's just say, right? Okay. Now,
right.
Took them to work. She told her mom, her mom was like, oh, my knee hurts. So they took her to the hospital. And then they went to the pharmacy. The pharmacist, it's going to take some time to get your prescription. So they went ahead and went to the pond, went swimming, whatever it is that they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Went back, got her prescription, did the milk and this and that. But they already had it planned. Hey, we're going to be there like at a certain time. Because Hunter had to be home at a certain time, correct? To hang out, to be with his girlfriend, right? How about that?
Mm-hmm. How about what?
How about if that was an excuse to give it that time to get back home by a certain time, right? Because they did everything with Hunter, and then they dropped him off, then they headed home.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So they got home. All of a sudden, she got to go fix her mama's brace, and she's getting Summer in the house. They snatch her tail up, and she leaves because she over there with her mom putting that brace on. And they know that person, the dogs didn't what? They didn't bark. At least that's what they said.
They did not. So it has to be somebody they knew. If the dogs didn't bark.
Took off with them. Took off with the little girl.
Right. And remember, didn't Allie say that Candace was kind of in a rush, like to go home?
Huh?
Like when she was kind of in a rush. Like normally she said normally she'll stick around and go on the patio for a little bit, but this time she was in a rush. Do you think that she knew what was going on and she had to be there at a certain time?
All I know is that he said he had to be at the house by a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that time was what? 2:09, 3, was it 3 or 2 something? Whatever time it was.
I think 3 something.
And I think they're like, what, 20 something minutes away from his house? 20 something minutes from him or something? Or did they say 45 minutes? Whatever.
I don't think they were that far.
Yeah, whatever time it took from his house to their house, that guy was in that house, and the mom used the excuse to be over there, to go supposedly fix her mom. Wait, where's my hand? Fix her mom's brace, and
Mm-hmm.
the man got the girl and took off with her.
Right. And do you think that's why mom really like escaped the situation and she's no longer in Tennessee? They said she normally does these little trips, but do you think she left because she doesn't want to be questioned? Do you think she knows a lot more?
Or she didn't know anything about it, and she didn't want to be
She
involved in it.
doesn't know anything about it, or she knows a lot more, is what you think?
It's one or the other. It's either none or more than we know. Definitely more than we know, but definitely possibly that she don't know anything and she don't want to be involved in it, because the situation with her daughter. How do we know who took her daughter? Who took Rose?
Rose.
Right. And then Dee says you knew she was lying when she did her home tour. I'm sure she did. I am so sure she did. She's lying left and right. I mean, they can't even keep a story straight because, like I said, you tell the truth, you're gonna say it one time. You lie, you're gonna keep it doing over and over and over. You're gonna have to cover one lie after another.
After another. After
one time. One. Look,
did you read the
one time or 10 times, because that one time is all you're gonna need to tell the truth. But you might have to cover that lie with that lie, the next lie, the next lie. By the time you finish telling that third lie, you forgot what the first lie was about, and that's where everything falls apart. But if you tell the truth, there's no lying. There's nothing to cover because you already know that that's what the truth is. But she's been telling lies after lies. It's ridiculous. Go ahead.
Did you read after one where I said, they were talking about she was so quick to show her husband? Did you read Latoya's comment after that?
The trafficking one? Is that the trafficking?
Latoya says, notice most of these cases with the children dying have to do with a cover up of the suspects.
Yeah, no, I haven't done any.
Okay, so I'm going to start reading from that point down. Miss Dee Dee also says, that shed must have been like the movie The Intruder. I've seen the movie, but I will have to look at that.
I've seen it.
Miss Dee Dee says she left out the whole story. Mm-hmm. She left out a lot in that story. I mean, a lot in that story. The reason why we were all like, wait, all this time missing was because look how much she left out. And everything she left out was things she knew did not sound right for her and a 15-year-old boy to be doing. So all that about when she said, no, that tea was for me. The way she then paused and said it, I was like, girl, quit lying. Because you know that was for Hunter. Because why would he say, oh no, she was driving, so, she couldn't have it. So then why did it if she knew she couldn't have it?
Yeah, and they try to say it was for the grandma. If it's for the grandma, that grandma's going to be doped up if she's taking that pain medicine and some doggone beer. Come on, some alcohol. Come on now.
If it was for the grandma, why would he ask? Why would the grandma give up her only tea to him? No, it doesn't make sense.
Supposedly, Don said he stole it out the truck.
Yeah, I heard that too. That was the other thing. No way. Latoya says I have 2 kids, 19 and 5 years old. It's heartbreaking to hear these stories. Today's world against human trafficking. Wait, am I reading that wrong? Today against human trafficking in persons. Yeah, I mean human trafficking is not new. It's not new by no means necessary at all. But it's easier and bigger now because of the internet. Okay? It makes it way easier to sell and traffic these kids. It makes it way easier to contact these children and women and men because you can be somebody totally different on the other side of the camera. Even what you show on your face, you hear about that. There was an Asian lady that had some type of social media. I don't even know if it was YouTube or not. But this whole time she was coming on with a filter and no one knew. One day, glitch, and instead of that, what they would consider perfect, beautiful Asian beauty, she was then like a way older woman that looked nothing like what the men were, going after, paying for. Yeah, they were paying her for somebody she wasn't.
So
I
she
was
looked
like,
like a
that's
Leslie?
crazy. What's a Leslie? What is a Leslie?
Not Leslie.
Oh my God.
Allison.
You always be having these things. What's a Leslie?
I mean Allison.
What's a Leslie?
I meant Allison.
What is it? Oh my God, you so mean. I mean, and we don't know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being on the heavier side. My only thing
Come on
is
now.
being
I don't have
healthy.
about that. I'm talking about you're a big girl. Cover that mess out. Come on now. We can't have no belly.
Yeah, I do.
Hanging out.
Yeah, I do feel like cover that up.
I'm not skinny.
But
But
if
I
you
don't want nothing hanging out. My boobs are covered. My butt's covered. My legs are covered. My arms are covered. Most of the times I stay cold all the time. But like, come on now. Cover your belly if you're not gonna cover nothing else up. Come on now.
Yeah, but you know what? Nowadays,
it's rude to my eyes.
they have the trend.
It's rude.
They have the trend of, huh?
It's rude.
What'd you say? It's your eyes. But I'm saying, look, they have a lot of women embracing themselves. Because I was big at a point. Okay, so even with my almost 200 pounds at 4'11", I was a little bit. I didn't want to show a lot. But some women are like, hey, I have this is my shape. I'm gonna live in it and I'm gonna own it. And so if I could see that being the case, but in this case, to me, it was just a little bit. It wasn't like she's trying to be empowering. It was just
extra,
kind of sloppy.
Yes,
it was kind of sloppy, kind of not put together. I mean, if you're going for that look of you want your stomach out and you want this out, go ahead, do that. Do it in a nice manner. But I'm saying, you're gonna be on national television and you're sitting there just. I mean, and I'm not saying you have to please all the world, but just have a little bit more respect for yourself. Exactly, respect for yourself.
I mean, I'm not worried about her weight in any manner. Like she could be 6, 7, 800 pounds. But come on now, you can we don't need to see all that. We don't need to see none of your skin in your midway. Come on now, that looks so sloppy. Right. You're disrespecting yourself in front of everybody. You open yourself to getting talked about. If I got on here with my belly out, talk about me, girlfriend. Trust and believe you could talk about me. I'd be like, I'm embarrassed, but guess what? It's my bad because I did hang my belly out. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't care. Right. She doesn't care. And that's what I'm saying. Probably where they're from. Obviously, if they don't mind, it looked like in situations, I'm not sure. I mean, the house is a mess. The yard is a mess. The car is a mess. The way we dress is a mess. Clothes, food on the shirt. It just could be their way of living. Just because, in certain places they don't wear clothes at all. They may wear a little cloth. And the women don't even wear shirts. Here in America, showing certain parts is a big deal. And to me, we all have the same thing. Maybe the shape a little side. Sometimes it is pushed overboard of, oh my God, her arm is showing. I mean, come on. People have said stuff about me wearing a spaghetti strap shirt. And I'm like, I live in California. It's hot. And I mean, even now I'm hot. But I'm covering up a little bit. If I want to get on here with a razorback shirt or a strapless,
Everybody should be able to do what they want. I'm just saying, do it respectfully. You know?
Yes.
Because I know some people are like, well, why are you talking about her? And no, it's not talking about her. It's just like have a little bit more respect for yourself.
It's not. We're not talking about her. It's the way she presents herself as a big
Harry, yeah,
as a big girl. It's sloppy. Even like a skinny girl who has a little pouch in front of her, you don't need to show it either. It just looks sloppy. It looks sloppy. Cover it up. You want to wear a tank top? You can wear a tank top that covers your belly. It doesn't have to be out. But like if you're skinny, then yeah, go by all means, handle your business. You want to look like mom dressed any kind of way, that's on you. You're skinny, you look good. But I'm talking about if you're a big woman, it's not because she's big that I have a problem with it. Because I'm telling you, I'm not small. I mean, I'm not small. I don't know if you see me. I'm not a small person. But I don't wear things like that. I will never. It doesn't matter where I live. If I live in a place everybody has their bellies out just because they do it, I'm not doing it just because they're doing it. I dress the way I want to, not the way they dress.
Right. Right.
But like I said, I just feel like she needs to dress properly, especially for the camera. What you do in your own home is you. That's you could be in front of our house doing that, but you're on camera for millions of people to see you, and you're gonna be okay.
Right.
You okay with that?
Right.
And you pose with a picture. You
I mean,
got a dirty shirt like a 2-year-old.
Yeah. I believe that probably, I think that was the same top. I think that was the same top. So it could be like one of her favorite, her comfy tops, because it just seemed like, she was chilling. And as she should, she's at her house. This man came to her house, so I could feel her like, you came over here to me. You want to ask me questions, I also didn't like, just me. She knew that they were recording. She knew she probably didn't care. But the way she was yelling and stuff like that, that's why I say,
ooh, yes,
it could be a cultural difference.
I think she was like trying to distract them. That's why she was doing all that yelling. Because who's going to sit there and be rude like that when your child is having an interview that can actually save his butt from going to jail? You over there screaming, right? The dogs barking left and right, being disrespectful as heck. Your son's trying to answer questions, you trying to answer for him. It just makes him look guilty.
Did you see her? Hunter was like, Mom, like he even had to tell her, like, chill, calm down, relax. So yeah, even he had to tell her, like,
yeah, chill out.
So the next one is let's see. It moved. Let's see. Let me go back. It says, how about the washing of 80 pairs of pants? What was that about? The 80 pairs of pants? What is she referring to? Do you know?
Yes.
How about the washing of 80 pairs of pants?
Candace said in the interview, her massive amount of clothes, and you should see how much washing she has to do because her kids have 80 pair of pants. Basically, her child is what it sounds like. Because 80 pair of pants is not a lot for all those kids you have, but per child, that's a lot.
It don't look like nothing is being washed in that house.
She wasn't saying outfits. She said
it don't look like nothing is being washed.
The house ain't being washed.
Are we still breaking up? Am I still breaking up?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Okay. But yeah, it don't look like anything is being washed in that house. It just looks like everything's being thrown here and there, and they just select out of whatever pile of whatever they can put on. So, Miss Didi, exactly the little face you put up there. Latoya says, missing and abducted kids have to have more awareness, not one story on the news. Yes. Yeah. They need to have way more awareness. Like we're saying about Latoya, like we're saying about this Amber Alert. They need to make some other type of alert to where no matter how small the information, how big the information is out there. All of our phones should be ringing with these alerts of wherever, all the surrounding states.
I have more
Because I mean,
my alerts is everywhere in the U.S. Like anywhere in the U.S., I have my alerts coming like crazy when I get my alerts because I don't know where this child's been from. If I know somebody from that state, I'll be like, hey, make a lookout. Go put it on Facebook. I put my stuff on Facebook when there's a child missing and they have alerts. And then when they get found, I let them know, hey, they've been found. You good? Next. Because we all know there's going to be a next.
Right.
There's not a next, but there is.
Right. And it's our responsibility now that we have this way of social media that it should frighten these criminals to even think about going to snatch up a child because their face is going to be out there like this, like this. The parents should already, moms, dads, already have a up-to-date photo of your child in your phone ready to go. You never know what will happen. We should not be having a picture of an 8-month-old and your kid is now 3. Why are we looking at this?
Exactly.
Like, come on. It can't only just be, the law enforcement. We gotta do better too. Yeah. So
they need to come up.
We need something other than an Amber Alert. We need to make something. I don't care what it's called, but it needs to be an alert. Even if all you have is a name and a picture.
Amber Alert, missing alert, Amber Alert, endangerment alert, whatever kind of alert they can come up with for everything, and just start naming whatever, because they did an Amber Alert for a child that was missing, right? So they did an Amber Alert, the one that was taken. So they went from there and they named it Amber Alert because the girl's name was Amber, right? So here they go. They put it on everybody else's, but it's not Amber, but it's what they call Amber Alert. Okay, let's call it missing alert, endangerment alert, this alert, whatever alert. As long as it's an alert, because the quicker they do this alert, the better chance that this child has, or these children have.
Right.
Boy, girl, young, old, whatever. Everybody has a better chance. Because everybody will have their eyes out. Because like I said, if everybody that gets an alert, put on Facebook, put it on your social media, you'll have a better chance of getting this person, before something happens to them. Because a person doesn't automatically kill somebody right away. Most of the time, they don't kill them right away. They do what they're going to do to them, and then they do what they're going to do. They either either they're going to get away with it, and they let them let them leave. Like they'll hold them down or whatever they do. God forgive, I'm sorry for saying it the way I'm saying it, but they do what they're going to do with them, and then sometimes they let them go, and then you're going to find this person on the highway. You got to help that person on the highway. They just got attacked. So if you have an Amber Alert about that person, you're going to know to help them. That's not somebody that's setting you up. Because like right now, I'm not joking. They had a thing where they were literally having people pull over to make it look like the woman was needing help. And the man would come from the doggone tree, the woods, and attack you behind and take your car or whatever else that they want to do to you. It was a setup.
Wow.
By these crazy women who are allowing their men to do things to other women. Like they're okay with it.
Crazy. Yes. That's crazy. Like they have what they're doing now to where people will, with car accidents, they'll come and they'll like bump your car a little bit, so you have to get out of the car and exchange information. But when you go out the car to exchange the information, that's when they rob you at gunpoint.
Yeah.
So they're coming up with all these little ways of doing things. But even if it's not a kid, like say they take that person, even if it's just a name and a photo, even if you don't have the name, whatever the information is, to still be able to be out, and people should be aware, because that'll make it slow down. Yes. And also with Xavier, you guys, with Xavier Harrelson, if that little boy was able to get his information out quicker, his mother, if she did not have anything to do with it, his mother should have been the first one to report him, and we would have Xavier now. So it just like they made the law. You have to, and I believe they did it in it's in Tennessee, to where they made it. You have to report your child missing, lost, or whatever in 24 hours. You
Because
have
some
to.
of them are not.
So that needs to be nationwide.
Yes.
That way, it slows this stuff down. If you haven't seen your kid within whatever amount of hours, within 24 hours. To me, it should be shorter than that. If you haven't seen your kid, especially if they're under the age of wherever you can't just get up and know you can go by yourself.
From the age that they can't take care of themselves to the younger, where if they can't take care of themselves, and
Right.
you know darn well they didn't
That
go
needs to
nowhere.
be
They didn't walk out that door, or they
right.
didn't do this. You know what your child is like. So like if you're with your kids all the time and you know you watch your kids, if you're watching your kids, you're gonna know if your kid is missing or not. Come on now. Within an hour, if you don't see
Right.
your kid, you're gonna go in that room and go see where they're at, right? It's the same thing. If they were walking out that door
Exactly.
and your kid comes up missing, you know that's not natural. You're gonna go and you're gonna say, look, hey, my kid is missing. I haven't seen him in a certain amount of hours. I don't care if it's 2 hours. If it's something that's not natural, I'm gonna report it. Now, what they do with it is on them, but
Right.
I'm gonna search for my kid. I don't give a damn what it takes. I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't curse, but I don't care what it takes. I'm looking for my child. I don't care what age they are. I'm going to look for them, and nobody's gonna stop me from looking for my kid. Because if it takes you 24 hours to bring your behind up in my house to come search for my child for wherever they're at, guess what? I'm going
Right.
out to for them because it's 24 hours is too many hours for somebody to do something to my kid.
That's too long.
I will kill somebody. I will
Yeah,
kill
that's why I
somebody.
think it should be. I think it should be a law. Let's say 12 and up. Okay, they could do that little 24 hours because they can run away and do whatever. But 11 and down should be within. It should be shorter than that. What, 3 hours? You know what I'm saying? Then okay, my cousin didn't come by and take my kid to the store or something like that. Like, no, it should be way shorter, and these things would slow down.
Yes.
It's just too
Yes.
convenient for people.
Too much.
Let me
Yes.
see. This
Yes.
next one, let's see. Etta B. Hey, Etta B still in the building. I don't think she ever made it home. You know what? I don't either. I think that was totally made up. And with these boys being away from the parents, I think we will get a lot more of an inside view of what was going on in that home because we're not going to get it from the parents.
Yeah.
We're not. They're trying to sugarcoat it too much, make it look like they're a church-going, God-fearing family, and that's not what I see.
Unless the dad had the boys, they're not gonna know nothing. They weren't there to say anything. How
True.
are they gonna do something they weren't there for?
What I'm saying is we'll have more of an insight of what the household is normally like on a regular basis as well. So if Summer normally gets abused or treated differently or whatever the case may be, because Hunter said the boys pick on her, a lot. That's how he would want to be. So I wonder a little bit more into that. Like, what do they mean? She was the only little girl, but we
Is
shall
it
see.
abuse or is it like giggling and playing with her?
Yeah.
Picking on her, or is it you hitting her with things? Are you throwing things at her that are hurtful? Things that would hurt her?
Yeah, or actually hurting her.
Did you hit her with the swing? By the swing. Everybody keeps saying something about the damn swing.
Right.
Do I need to go take that damn swing
Right.
back?
Right.
What is up with the swing?
Even Chris was saying, he was just like, oh, what is the significance about the swing? And he brought that up. I thought that was really good because what is going on with this swing? They're just like, oh, well, she really likes the swing. The swing. I said swing.
But it
The
doesn't.
swing.
The sentence that he said when she was talking, and then she just cuts it off with "by the swing." That made everybody think that didn't make any sense with what you said. And then by the swing, what is by the swing? And then Hunter with the swing, and then
just like
with the swing. What the heck's going on with the swing? Did she get hit by the swing?
I have no clue. Because they they would swing her like violently, like kind of hectically. So
And then that swing,
anything is possible with Summer.
I looked at the swing. It
Huh?
looks like you know what an anchor is, right? An anchor for a boat. Okay, so they have
Uh-huh.
different kind of anchors. In the middle, there's a rope in this one kind of anchor. It's a round anchor. It's round, not round, but like the bottom. It's like rounded like this, like a bowl. It's like a bowl.
Uh-huh.
My husband has boats, so he had one similar to that one. It looks like a bowl, right? It looks like an actual bowl, and then there's like a rope that holds on to it in the middle. So she could have easily sat on that and swung on it,
Uh-huh.
and hard, because that's what sinks in your boat, that keeps your boat from moving around. So that's hard. That's what it looked like
Wow.
when I saw it again.
I didn't see where it was actually connected on the tree because if it's that type of heavy object, it would have to be from a really sturdy branch, you know? Otherwise,
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no.
know.
They're not that heavy. You could actually lift them. It's not that heavy. It's the water that brings them down, that it makes them that heavy. Like they're not heavy. It's the water that drags the anchors down that make them heavy. When they bring the water's like when it gets down to the bottom, it's just like kind of such down. But they're not like they're heavy, but not to the where it's like, oh my God, it's not too heavy. It's not like weights heavy. Let's put it that way.
I always wondered that, like, how heavy does an anchor have to be to hold a boat, you know?
They're heavy enough, but
From
not
moving.
heavy where you can't use it as a swing. Depending on how thick that rope is and how strong that tree is,
Mm-hmm.
you can carry that as a. And then the thing is you see how she swings? You have to do something pretty heavy to take you up like that high.
True. Yeah.
So it's gonna jerk as it drops. It would jerk. The rope would jerk. Because you know
Right.
if you swing high and you come down and it jerks.
Yeah. When you get too high.
There's no heavy. The seats are not heavy, so they jerk right as you sitting in. But that swing, the way she was flying was so it was heavy. It had to have been heavy to take her back and forth the way it did without jerk. It didn't jerk, not even a little bit.
It's just so many different things. This goes too many different places. Latoya says they should have at least up to 50 people looking for her in 100 yards of the home. Police, volunteers, family, FBI. Yes, Latoya, but they constantly say, they don't want anybody helping because of the terrain. And with them saying that, seeing how dense it is, like I said, what is it called? The leaf litter from the forest. I mean, you can clear an area. She's small, bury her, and leaf litter over that to where it looks like nothing was there. It's gonna be some work for them to look for this baby. And I hate it to say it, but just how they automatically go to, searching for a body is just so sad. It's like we're not even looking for a live child at this point. And what if she is alive somewhere,
Yeah, you heard about the the Echo search guy, what he said?
What he said?
She's not going to be the same. She's not going to look the same. Meaning, gone, passed. That's what they're looking at. Right now, they're looking for body, most likely.
They've been looking for bodies from the
recovery. They're in the recovery.
Search and recovery. They've been looking for bodies from the beginning. They haven't really said, they were looking.
Yeah, because remember I told you about the 64-year-old guy that was passed away, that had dementia, that walked away from his home. From July 1st, and they found him, I believe, July 10th. I believe it was July 10th or the 12th. One of those 2 days. And then they found him, and he was actually in the trenches. So they found him. That's why. Then after they found him, he was deceased though. This guy was deceased because he had dementia. It's been like 10 to 12 days later, and they didn't find him. He was missing because, like I said, dementia or Alzheimer's is what he had. And he walked away from home and ended up falling into a hole, and that's basically what would happen to her if that's what happened.
And then think about it, you're that old, like, so it's harder for you to get out or to yell or for anything, and that age you break, huh?
he's going to be definitely bigger than Summer. So if he can get in there, why not Summer? She's tiny. I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm just saying it's a possibility. You could put her in there. Somebody could do something and put her in there. And it would be hard to find her because there's branches and what you call leaves. But you would have to be at that. You would have to be at that trench in order for you to find them. That's how they found him. And then next thing you know, a few days later, they're like, oh, echo search. Let's go ahead and start doing this. So they're going to start taking them around and make sure they get every crevice. And that's probably it's taking them longer than they thought. They were like, oh, we'll probably find it this weekend. That was not going to happen with the area that they had.
It's too, the area is so dense. That's why I was wondering, like, were they able to, when they were using the the heat detectors and the flyover scans and stuff like that, was it able to even penetrate through that thick layer of trees and things? I don't know. Let's see. Latoya also says, FBI, okay, this continues from Latoya. Or the door was already opened and they were watching the house. That's why I said it has to be somebody that knows them. Because they would have to know. If you just look at the house, you don't know anything about it. It would be like, okay, that's the basement. It didn't look like that was even like a part of the house. To me, from the front part, I think it was. I don't know what's the front or the back technically for that house, but it would look like it's just a one-story house with a basement. So you would have to know.
Could they have put that? Could they have put that island on it to make it like covered up? I'm not saying to do something with it, but like for years later, they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna cover this hole, so that way we just leave it open and go into the room and not have to worry about having a door. So we're just going in and put that to cover it up." For me, kind of crazy, I guess. Not crazy, but like weird.
But weird setup.
To come visit them, like, oh, they're dang, you got a hole in your ground, so they covered it with an island.
You know what? Now I'm picturing that. See, out here we don't have basements. We only have attics, and they're not accessible to where you can just, like, I see places where they have this, you pull it down. We don't have that type of thing.
We have it in our garage. We don't have it in the house. We have it in the garage.
See? And then you have it in your garage. I've seen places where they have it like maybe in a hallway and then it's the attic, or someone's closet and then it's the attic, or in the bathroom.
My son, his closet has the door to our attic. To make it to go one side is like where his door is. We have a door right there for him. You got to unlock it though. We got it locked all the time, deadbolt locked. Nobody else without having that key. And I'm the only one that has the key. My husband has the key. Nobody else has the key. So then the other way is through our garage, and you pull down the thing, and then it has a ladder that comes down, and you go up it. But that's the only reason we have that is for like Cox cable to do something with the system, because they have the main board up there. So we don't for putting things up there at all. We do that through the actual door itself.
See, a lot of the attics out here is not even like, you can't go and stand up in it. You can't, like, you literally will have to crawl. Yeah. It's just for probably like a little storage space, And I wonder if out there, do they have attics and basements or just basements?
You would have to have an attic. I mean, you could have attics and basements, but from what I could see, it's not like that. It's not built like that. It's not built for like all the way up or anything. Basically, it's like this squarish looking kind of house, and basement only. I didn't see any attics or any like rooms that go up there or anywhere with windows or nothing like that. I didn't see anything like that. I just saw
see, our attics don't have windows.
You don't have windows in your attic, so you actually don't have like it could be more like storage for you, right?
Right. It's not like an attic.
In Baton Rouge. Yeah, in Baton Rouge, we have that kind. We have the one where it didn't have windows. It's just like an area we use for storage. But this one here is for them, like I said, for Cox to go up and check things. And then we have that door to put things inside the actual door.
So I wonder if in Tennessee, if they do have an attic, do they even check that? Because if they're using the basement,
Let me see something. I want to see us.
Then listen. Okay, so if that's the basement, where does that little area where they have the dogs? Where does that area come in?
That little hole on the side of the house. That's what it is. It's like a little cutty, but inside in their house, in the side of the house. I'm gonna show you. Let me see if I have a picture. I'm not sure. Let me double check. Okay, so I have. That's the grandma's. Hold on. Where's their house? Okay. Okay, so this is right there. Oh God, you can't even see it. It sucks. There we go. See that? It's flat. There's no room for an attic.
Ah.
And then the
So
grandma.
what about, okay? So is that two homes put together?
That's the. Remember they had construction. It's an
Yeah.
add-on. It's
So
called.
they're adding on to it.
They added onto it. It looks like this part right here was added on. Wait, I don't know.
The brown part.
The brown part is added on.
Okay.
Because you can see it looks newer than the old part, than the part
Then
with
yeah.
metal top. It looks like a metal roof.
I don't know. It looks like it just fall in. It's so
Yeah,
flat.
like it's caving.
Yeah, that's
So
weird.
this is, I don't know if that's his truck or not, but see that white truck? One
Uh-huh.
time I heard he had a white truck, and that looks like it's his truck. And then they got the grandma's. Where's her picture? Right here. So this is the grandma's truck with a cab on it. What they call it? You know, it's covered up.
Oh, the top.
Yeah, the camper thingy or whatever. And then that's her trailer right there. You can see it. Can you see it clear?
Okay. Yeah. See, because the picture we first see where's like I guess that would be the front part of the trailer. I don't know, but you see the distance from the trailer to that back door.
It's not.
It looks like you have to be able to see right there. But when you go around and you come the other way, then you kind of see how
Then
you
that would be a
probably
blind
can't see
spot.
around there. It's a blind spot.
Right.
So
That would.
somebody could be, so many different ways.
Yep.
Miss Didi says, you knew she was lying when she said, when she did her home tour. Did
Yeah.
I go back and read some other
We
things?
did. Yeah, we did that one first, but you went back.
Okay, let me go this way.
The picture of that doggone attic. I should have took a picture of it, screenshotted it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look at this, check this out. Hold on, let me see if you can see it. See where the string, the rope is in the middle. It's in the middle of the thing when
Okay, yeah, and her
she's
legs are
straddling
round.
that rope. There we go. She's straddling the rope.
I see now.
It's in the middle.
Right. So it's probably just through the middle and like knotted.
Yeah, there's like a big, like a little hump like this with a hole, and you
Uh,
go through it. You thread your rope through it, and that's what holds it. You know, where you can throw it into the water and pull it back out and all that.
okay.
That's
Okay.
why I'm thinking it's not 100% that it's an anchor, but it just looks like an anchor to me.
Latoya says either involved completely or has no clue. I think she's referring to what we were talking about earlier. Martha, hey Martha, still in the building. I also believe she never made it home. Yes.
This is the one from when they went swimming.
That's the trench you're talking about?
That's the hole I'm talking about.
That she could possibly have fell.
That she could
See, but the thing is with that, we see her after. She could have fell and hit her head, and instead of taking her to the doctor, they kind of were just like, she'll get out of it. Let's see. I agree with you. Summer never made it. Yep. Edna B says, yeah, it was an accident, most likely.
Watch what I'm talking about. When those flowers, before or after the flowers move out of the way, you can see. Okay, so that's Summer in the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doggone effects get on my nerve. You gotta turn your head to get with it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay, so look, here we go. So they show him, right? And then look where she looks at. The hole in the ground.
Right.
Move the flowers, and then back to him again. And guess what? That's one flower. Because of the effect that she did, it makes it look like 3 different flowers. It's just one flower. Just like it was one of Summer, one of Hunter, but she had it like 3 different screens from the effect. But that's one flower that shows 1, 2, 3, but it's one flower. Let me show you real quick. I know you didn't.
Okay, what you're saying on the different screens, it looks like more than one.
Right, because she has that little effect that she did. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Don't move. Okay.
Josh Star in the building. Hi, Josh Star. Thanks for joining us. I'm creeping down the comments. So just now seeing you. Thanks for joining.
They don't look that big, but in person they're huge. Do you see that? It's like a
crack. What exactly is a hole though? Where does that hole just come from?
It's like a trench from the dirt separating.
Oh, okay. Like it's eroding and making that opening.
And it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. Like it just gets deeper and bigger at the top. So it goes like big and then it goes real small, but it drops down like a, oh God, come on, a triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get to these comments. Let's see. Miss G says, nah, Grandma was one of the last people to see Summer, so I'm quite sure lead investigators told her not to leave the state. That's very true. If this is an open investigation, you're one of the last people to see her. Why was she allowed to leave?
She's not out of state.
I don't care. Even if it's the same, you need to be in the same city.
Right. That's true. Not leaving. See that? Those 3 flowers? That's one flower from 3 different screens.
Oh, the effect is what you're saying. But what are you saying about that? What is the one flower? What is the one
flower? They said they were picking flowers. There's only one flower out there. What are you talking
But I thought she was off picking the flowers, and I don't think she was picking them from the tree.
Like, why are they taking a picture of one flower and making it 3 and showing a whole?
That part I don't know. That part I have no clue.
Subliminal stuff right there.
Let's see. Martha says, how was Grandma allowed to leave the state? I find Grandma kind of shady. No words from her. Right. I do feel like she's on there talking about Rose and things like that. What about Summer? Like, what happened? I want to hear her timeline. I wonder if Chris can get her to talk about her timeline. Because we hear what Candace says. We hear Hunter's side of it. We hear Allison's side of it. We hear what the other grandma seen from whatever she's seen, but Grandma, Candy, you were there. What's your timeline?
They haven't. They lowered up. That's why they're not talking anymore. They lowered it up, and they probably told her, "Don't you talk." And they already had TBI, the FBI, and everybody else that interviewed everybody else or investigated them or whatever. They already talked to her. So now it's like they got a lawyering up because of everybody saying they did something. So they're using that as why they're getting a lawyer.
See, but why need look? First of all, if my kid went missing, I would just give the information, whatever. But as far as going over it with people, now in this time, yeah, everybody's gonna put everything you say. So I would just be like, look, you don't necessarily need to get a lawyer if you're not gonna speak. I'm not talking about it. I'm gonna let them handle it. This is what happened, and that's that. Because if you keep going, people are gonna pick it apart like we're doing now, and we're gonna look for every little thing because things to us don't make sense.
Because the only thing we can do is speculate because they keep lying. They're not telling the
Exactly, because nobody
truth.
makes
If they tell
sense.
the truth, we would have been left their butts alone.
Yep.
Tell the doggone truth. Get it over with. Because if it's an accident, let's just say it was an accident scenario. It was an accident. Okay, you're going to get less time for that accident than you are if you were to keep changing the story and hide and covering up for yourself. They're gonna, when they do find out, you're going to do a lot of time. You
Right.
need to tell it. You need to tell it. That's all I gotta say.
Or they feel like they can get away with it, and that's why they lie in the beginning. But it's just like, why lie? If she did slip and get hurt, take her to the hospital. She could have had a better chance then. Now, if that wasn't the case, and Hunter did something to her, and they're trying to protect him, okay, then that's that. But it's like we have all these different scenarios. We need something to give. Let me read some of these comments so I can catch up.
All right.
Josh Star says, wow, look at how deep that fall is. Etta B says, do you think grandma took the body out of state? Whoa, Etta B. I don't know. I know she went somewhere in Tennessee, but I don't know if she left the state. Either way, we need to hear from grandma. We need to hear from Miss Candy. Shay Works by Faith says that had crossed her mind. Miss Love, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining us. I'm just now scrolling down, so I don't know how long you've been in the building, but everyone say hey to Rima. Is it true that Candace have an older daughter by the name of Candace Jean Flodine, aka Candy Flodine? I don't know.
I heard that there's another Candace, another Candy, another Candace. It's her mom, her, and another one, supposedly her daughter. I don't know how true it is, but that's what they're saying.
I'm hearing that they do a lot of the reverse junior thing in the family. So let me see.
Because the mom is a Candace, Candace is a Candace, and Candace is a Candace, and then but she calls herself Candy.
Yeah, what do you call that? What do you call that if a woman? Do you call it junior still?
Juniorette? I have no idea. I've never heard of
Juniorette. Because I have a cousin that she named her daughter her name, but I believe she changed the middle name. But they call her the middle name and not her first name. You know, they both have the same middle name.
Because she's sitting there calling herself. That's why.
All right.
That feels weird. Because like when I'm talking on the phone and somebody named Nancy's on there, I'm like, hey Nancy, it feels weird. I'm calling my name. Can I say your last name?
Right.
You know, it feels weird, but yeah.
Hold on. When I typed that name in, all I seen was missing. So I'm just like, wait. What is this here now? Uh-oh. Let me read. This is in 2017. Did you type that name in?
What, Candace?
When I typed in the Candace Jean Flodine, all I see is missing persons. Let me see. I'm gonna have to dig into that. Rima, I'm gonna have to dig into that.
14 years old, but they found him. I heard about that. She was 14
I
years
see
old.
someone said,
and she was missing with a couple of other friends, from my understanding, but they found her.
Is it Michaela?
Something like that.
Michaela Hanson Wall, aka Kayla Hanson Wall, and Candace Jean Flodine.
That's it. So
let me see this.
They said that's the third person. Well, that's the first person that was missing. Then it was Rosie, and now Summer. So they were
wait, but how? Because this happened in. How was it that if this person went missing in 2017?
Okay, so then that means Rosie, then the daughter, and then Candace. I mean, Summer.
But I believe these ones are found.
Yeah, they were found. Oh, they were
Okay.
yeah, they were with some strangers. That's what they found them with
And
strangers.
then if this is Candace's older daughter, supposedly, then these ages were the Candace girl at that time in 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, so 14, 15, 16, 18. She would be about 18 right now. So,
I mean, Candace is only 39.
so I think we can cut that out.
I'm wondering.
But let me try the other name. I don't know. I just feel.
I heard that on one of the other things. They said it.
I mean, I know everybody's just reaching for anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's like reaching for any answer, so we're glued to this. Let's see.
Somebody's scenario is the real thing. I'm just gonna say it's just so many out there that it just make you go. One of them is an moment.
Yep. So here's the Candy Floodine, and then parentheses it says Candace, and this girl is. She looks pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
It says, live to the fullest. You don't know when your time is to come. That's her little caption. It says, live to the fullest. You don't know when your time is to come. Kind of eerie, but I'm not going to show the pictures because I don't know what these kids have to do with this situation, and I don't want to put children's pictures on here that have nothing to do with these stories.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm not going to do that, but if people want to go look for it, they can do that. Shay Works by Faith says she also heard that about maybe an older daughter. Josh says, I thought that too. So everybody has heard that at this point.
Did you guys hear that the sister, Rosie, was supposed to have adopted her kid, or not adopted, had her kids, had Candace's older kids? That's what they were saying. I don't know how true that is either.
That's crazy how they just found her car and she just
vanished.
And then this is the same thing with Little Summer, just
missing.
Interesting. Rima is Love says on February 28th, 2017, was missing but found alive, just ran away with another girl. That's what we see. Shay Works by Faith says, right, I heard she was adopted out as an infant.
Oh, wow.
Possibly. You should probably ask her about that because it's spelled the same too. Before this, I hadn't seen Candace spelled that way, but that could just be me. Jasar says, I have a cousin that did the same with her daughter.
She's talking about the name.
Huh?
I think
with the name? Rima says, she was in a foster home when she ran away. Okay, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they actually, her and that girl ended up with some strange dude, but they found them.
Interesting. So we're caught up on the comments. So, I mean, we went from the Bella Bond story, and then we went on to Summer. We're at a cool 3 hours and a half now. So for those of you guys that didn't hear about the Bella Bond, go ahead and check that out. Leave a comment in the comment box. Let me know, do you feel like Bella received the proper justice or not? We can come back on and discuss that. And we will stay up most definitely on Summer. And before I'm out, because I always forget, but I'm going to get good at this. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Go on out, subscribe, make sure you hit my notifications just because you need to be notified. I don't have a set schedule now, but I will always try to put up a little video before I go on, either the day before, a couple hours before. But you want to have the notification so you'll know what we'll be talking about. Sometimes we're just going to come on and have a conversation. I could be bored. I don't know. Something might be new. But anyway, hit that subscribe button. Thumbs up. Make sure you share this one too. And if you haven't, if you want to catch up on what the Bella Bond is about before we go back and discuss on, whether you think justice was served, you can go to my video before this one and you'll see all the news clips and you'll be caught up. So I'm going to head out, guys. Thanks for everybody that came in, showed love, participated in the chat. Love you guys. I'm going to find more ways of, getting connected and being able to show you guys what I'm seeing. So I'm not just holding up the computer. But anyway, love you guys. I'm going to head on out. Bye, you new.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye, y'all.
See you later.
Bye, babe.
Bye.